Hello, my beautiful children. How are you guys today? I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm not gonna lie. I have my vitamins, about to take them. Hello, Kales. Hello, Captain Iron Mask. Give me 1 second. Give me a second. Hi, Mix Latte. Hello, Concho. Hello, That One Leaf. Hello, Owen Draws. Hello, Gluten-Free Acrylic. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? I've been fighting for my life. Fighting for my damn life. Can you believe it? All I want to do is just draw the cute anime picture and help people around me, and I'm fighting for my life. Whatever. I got my first commission today. That's awesome, Owen Draws. That's great to hear. Howdy. Hi, Tasato. Long time no see. It's been a while since you just opened up with a solid howdy. Since I last streamed, I don't even know when I last streamed, not gonna lie. Let me put on my facial moisturizer real quick. Your salt water, I have that if I pee too many times, that's when I take the salt water. But you know, I'm drinking tea. Maybe I should put some of the salt water in there. I don't know, maybe. But I'm going through a diet right now. It kind of sucks. Let me put on my facial stuff. Last stream was Monday. Was it really Monday? Really? Wow. Damn, I thought it was like last week or something. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Okay, look at that. 2 streams in a week. Look at that. Salt water. I know it sounds gross. Saltwater tea, can't imagine it being good. Nutrition is often not tasty. I needed the stream, been in and out of the hospital, been up for a few days now. What the? Why are you in the hospital? I was in the hospital like what, last week? But anyway, a cute pink-haired anime girl to get rid of art block. Hell yeah. Throwback Friday. Was it really Monday? Was my last stream? Hold on. I'm putting my moisturizer on. I'm dry from using so much facial cream. Why have I been using facial cream? Because I was taking Lamictal. And that one thing I didn't want to happen if I took Lamictal, which was that rash that evolves into SJS, which is this skin deteriorating disease that like busts your membrane in your body. I started developing the precursor rash to that. Yay! 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 I didn't believe it at first. So I got some small spots. I was like, oh, this could just be dry skin. That sort of thing. It is so fucking hot here in Vegas today. But it started spreading to my cheeks and it got really, really itchy. And I'm like, let me go to the doctors. I went to the clinic yesterday. And lo and behold, they said, yeah, this is definitely from the Lamictal, so stop that immediately. So, once again, stop, you're right. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? So once again, we are unmedicated. We are uneducated. Okay? You know, I'm just undiagnosing the bipolar. How's your rash healing? It's feeling way better. It's like literally, probably 80% gone. Maybe even 90% gone as the time goes by. It's very interesting because Lamictal has like I guess a shelf life or whatever the hell they call it in your body for 24 or 33 hours. And so literally at the 30-hour mark, it started getting out of my system. Because yesterday morning, because I started rashing like so badly, I specifically was like, I'm not gonna take this until the doctors say it's like clear for me to continue taking it. So it's like, it was like a full 24 hours yesterday that I hadn't taken it and my rash was still growing. Half-Life, there we go. That's a relief. A relief. That's a relief, says That One Leaf. How are you guys doing? I'm trying to think of what you'd even put in saltwater tea to take the edge off the intense salt flavor. Oh, I'm used to drinking just salt water. But also another thing, I had a laryngoscopy done. A laryngoscopy, which is where they take a, think of like 3, 4, think about 4 pieces of spaghetti, like the noodles, the thickness, like put them together like 4 pieces, and that's about how thick it is, and it's this rubber, like, squiggly tube that, is a camera that goes down, that goes in your nose, past your nose canal, like, you know when you've stuck your finger in your nose, like, you can feel like, hey, there's a block here. It goes past that, and then it goes, like, half down your throat. And I had that done. Drinking straight salt water like a fish. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know? Did I write it wrong? Yes, it's a relief. Like, R-E-L-I-E-F. Relieve? Like, to, like, relieve your stress. It's a little differently. You're close, though. You're close. Relief. There we go. I don't know if that's how I spelled it, but that's definitely not how you spell it. But, I had that done down my throat, and then they did notice inflammation right away. Because like I said, I've been talking about how, like, when I talk for a long period of time, my throat kind of gets, like, really, really tight. So they definitely did see inflammation. And, they think that's from silent reflux disease, GERD, which is where when I'm laying at night, I have too much acid in my stomach, and it goes up my, like, bronchial tubes and trachea, and then starts burning my vocal cords. So, relieve. Hell yeah. I know I said it before I could fix the billing. Well, I thought, like, when I said it, because I said I spelt it off the cuff, so I was like, oh, maybe I spelt it wrong. Could have been either or. So, they have me on this new diet where... Hello, Otto, how are you doing? They have me on this new diet where I have to have only plain foods. I feel like a medieval, impoverished savant. I think that's the word I'm looking for. A farm worker, because like I could eat, like my diet, like right now, is white rice, and it needs to be jasmine rice. Plain rice, you can't have any sauces. Bread, I got bread going for me. Nut butter, I have almonds, I can eat almonds. Jasmine rice is super, it really is actually. Peasant, maybe I mean peasant. What is a savant? Let me see what that word is. I'll just say anything that sounds like it fits. Savant. Oh, definitely not. A very learned and talented person, especially when distinguished in a particular field of science. I'm a savant. But that's not the word I meant to use. Savant. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Plain foods. Plain foods, like literally foods that have like no flavor. So like bread and stuff like that. Omar. Since I've been in the army, it's been cigarettes, Red Bulls, and ground beef. First of all, stop while, I don't know what your age is. Like, stop while you're ahead. Like, it's gonna do damage. Don't get me wrong, I'm lying because like, I literally used to take caffeine pills in the military. And then like, when the caffeine pills were too much for me, I'd take 4 sleeping pills to go to bed. So I'm like a hypocrite. But, my friend who's also currently active duty, he was saying that, medical said that something like 80% of military service members have GERD. Again, where your stomach produces too much acid. So, you know, it's pretty common. You are a keychain photography savant. Hell yeah, I'll take it. You take that bad bread is delicious. It is delicious, but it's boring. Oh, I can't have sugar. Where's my paper, actually? I took a picture of it. I can't have caffeine, which I'm slowly breaking, you guys. I'm slowly breaking the whole caffeine thing. Unfortunately, I have to work. Which, speaking of which, if I'm not working my model, I'm just gonna have to end the stream and work on it off because like I really gotta get this done. But so I'm drinking caffeine, but I'm weaning it off. I'm weaning it off. Hello, Su. How are you doing? It's MREs that mess us up. Funny enough, I didn't have a single MRE when I was in the military. I didn't have a single one. We have bag nasties. I can't have caffeine. Listen here. Okay, so in real life, it's, what's it called? It's the water packets for Celsius. Okay, so I can't have fatty foods. So anything like high in like saturated fat, like butter and stuff like that. I can't have spicy foods, which I absolutely love spicy foods. You see the lawsuit that's allegedly being made from MREs? I wonder if that's it. Mint, I can't have mint, which is kind of weird. I can't have chocolate. Caffeine, especially coffee, is a trigger. Carbonated beverages. Dairy-containing products. I need to lower, if I do these things, such as cigarettes or any other tobacco-containing products, I need to reduce. Alcohol, reduce. Decreasing weight. Tight-fitting clothes, I can't wear. And avoid late-night eatings 2 to 3 hours before bed. What the... If it's off-brand Red Bull X Monster, it doesn't matter. Have you, X Monster? I've never heard a collab between them. Yes, MRE lawsuit. You can have Celsius water? I really can't. I'm not supposed to. And, like, anything with citric acid, like, anything that, like, has acid in it, I can't have because it makes my stomach worse. But I'm weaning it out, I will say. Like, it's like right now I'm drinking this. I'm not supposed to, but I, am doing it anyway. But I'm lowering the dosages. Eventually I'm gonna get rid of it completely. But citric acid being, what's it called? Like any sort of artificial, like fruity flavors. Like even certain fruits I can't have. What the? No chocolate, you're done. I know. Can you have corn? It might be too sweet. We're so back, chat. Hello, Dark Virus. How are you doing? Hold on, let me get set. Is my mic picking up the cup? It looked like it was. But anyway, how are you guys doing? So I have a new GERD diet I'm trying to stick to. What else? I am pretty much done with that amygdala rash. Can you have avocado? Funny enough, avocado is too high of fat. I can't. It's literally like I literally have like again like foods from the medieval ages and that's it. Like avocado is literally too high in fat for me to have. Which is crazy. I can eat vegetables though. Just finished cooking my wife dinner since I'm going out tonight. What are you doing tonight? What are you doing? Oh, it's Friday. I didn't even realize it was Friday. Look at that. I literally stream on Friday. Pretty darn tired since it's past my bedtime. How about you? Did you enjoy your birthday? Did you do anything special? I know you said you were thinking about a new computer. Are you allowed starches? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't checked that out. Sweet potatoes are so back. Ugh, whatever. Whatever. So, I was just about to get in to say something else. Let me bring up my model. I will say for a second, I'm gonna have to censor the screen because I need to work on an area like her part of her underwear, and I don't wanna flash everybody. What is it? Punani? Is that what that is? Is that what that word means? Punani? I don't want to do that. So let me put it up there. I think that should be good. Should I put my model here? Yeah. I'll do that, and then let me get out my clipboard. Nothing special on my birthday other than money. Hell yeah. Did you get a lot of money? I think you said 300 euro, right? If I'm not mistaken, let me put you there. And then let me get my little board real quick. Give me a second. There we go. I never gave a number. Vegetables kill me, you! I'm going with my old Starbucks friends. We're going to Italian family-style restaurant. That sounds fun. I will say, you do have a lot of friends, all things considered. And thank you, my dear, for the $5. I do appreciate it. It's tough. I'm trying to make a penny out here, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to make a penny, you guys. It's tough on these streets. I love how this thing spawns so big every single time I use it. 300 euros manifesting. I see. I'm doing well despite not being able to hike today. Oh, that sucks. I do remember you saying that. I will say, I want to do more Zwifting streams. Once my mouth is healed, like, I still have that tooth removal being an issue, and, the stitches are kind of coming undone, which kind of sucks a lot. But, yeah, I'd say that's good. Alright, minimize you. Okay, we're still here. I'll move all my stuff around. But, I want to do my Zwifting stream some more, but I realized the issue was, like, I was making the room too moist with my sweat, and it was so gross and so uncomfortable. So I actually bought, today, I think it should be here sometime next week, a dehumidifier, so I can, do more Zwifting streams and get rid of all that humidity. Is that your new model? She's so cute. Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you. Everything's an issue with you, sweet goddess. You know what I mean? I am here, I was put on this planet just to suffer. You know? Just to suffer, and then to tell other people, like, hey, this is how it went. That's what I was here for. Alright, put that there. I'm gonna head in the office a little and do my normal Saturday stuff, so it's opportunity to hike tomorrow. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Chaos is so cute in every single form. Thank you. Yeah, I gotta finish this here soon. I was debating, I like this little hair piece I kind of created. So I think I'll make it an alt piece, like this one, but then also the halo is like, whoops, I actually toggle both of them on. I was like a main one too. So I think I'll have them like interchangeable. I'm tired of your glaze, Sasato. We need a humble chaos base so she learns how to be a gracious monarch. I need to be humbled. Oh god. I feel like I'm acting pretty humble, all things considered. You guys haven't even seen like a 5% max of my ego. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Alright, we got everything. I took another thing of caffeine. You put a little trans flag in there. Whoa! Whoa! Why? What is that insinuating? What is that insinuating? Have I met my daily quota of insinuation of a certain thing? What is that insinuating? Where's my pencil? There we go. Alright, okay, so I gotta... Because also, because like I will say I do like this model that I'm wearing right now because I can take off the tank top or this stuff and I have like the tank top. Where is it? Oh, France. Let me move this. There we go. Oh god, I can't see. I'm moving everything but me. Fuck off. Anyway, you guys know how I have a fucking tank top underneath. And so I kind of use that as my like exercise casual model. So I'm trying to design this as a similar... There's an outfit I can wear underneath with different parts of the model. So it really saves time and like, I think it's good for brand recognition. So I thought a cute little either like dance outfit or like a workout outfit could be this. Hold on, let me scoop back. In any event, hello Aurora. Scales, is there something you need to tell us? I don't know. Am I being clocked? Am I being clocked? Is that what it is? No, don't banish me. I was just testing your loyalties. That's fair. Alright, let me see. Because the blue jacket, no, I want that on. Because like I also kind of have like this just model underneath without the jacket, which has like a different look and I kind of like that. Chatters, are you a femboy? They can't keep getting away with this exactly. You know what I mean? they're just framing it differently now. Can you put a trans flag in there? I like it. they're getting craftier. They're getting sneakier at this. That was a good one. Let's see. And then the vest. These layers are insane. Where is my vest? Vest and shirt. So I thought this looked like a cute little outfit combo. So, but the only thing is like I need to make her spats a little bit higher. And when I move the spats, it's gonna show what's underneath the spats, you know what I mean? Howdy popping in. Hell yeah. Hello Lightning, how are you doing? Jacket off. What you say on God, we're scraping. Yeah, and technically I can take the jacket off too. It's just like this, but I do because I never meant the shorts to be seen. That's why they're so low. So I'm like, ignore the back here. Oh, you can't see my cursor. Rip. That's just the back of the jacket, but I need to make them a little bit higher. Let's see. I kind of put a marker of how high I wanted them. I think, yeah, more like that. Yeah, let me draw that real quick. The only reason why it's so low is because I have to be under the skirt. Is where the fuck is the skirt? This thing is so annoying. There we go. Yeah, no, that's gonna break chat, you know what I mean? What is a spat? It's I don't know what it stands for, but it's like these, it's kind of like really tight shorts. It's like really tight shorts. You usually wear them under skirts. I don't know what it, like, short pants? I think it's short pants, a spat. I think that's what it is. What's that on her waist? Like up above this little area? It's the back of the blue jacket. Spat is a low-key fight. Yeah, it is high-key, actually. It's those stomach fold thingies. These? You don't know what this is? This is a hip bone. This is where your hip bones usually sit. If your body fat percentage is low enough, you'll see them. Spatter dashes. Like biker shorts. Yeah, pretty much like biker shorts. Pretty much. Hi, by the way, call me Mr. Manface. How am I gonna remember that, Lightning? I'm just gonna call you Lightning. I'm not gonna be able to remember that. Alright, let me just verify one more time. It goes underneath the skirt. I technically could make it a little bit higher. Alright, let me do that actually. Take you. Put you right here. Color. The hip bone is connected to the leg bone. Hell yeah. Like this is... I hate clip studio paint. I hate it so much. Alright, take you. Good. So I could probably make it up to here, actually. Catch you later. See you later, Debug. Appreciate you being here. Spatter dashes were shoes. What the hell is spatter dashes? I've never even heard of that. Actually. Alright. I think that might be a little bit better. I don't want it too round because it makes her entire stomach look round. So I don't know how to actually eliminate that. Maybe more like that. Let's take out the skirt. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Whoops. I hope you're having a good Friday. Hello, Celty. How are you doing? I'm having an alright Friday. As long as I get my work done, I will, be having a great Friday. I'm pretty optimistic. I will say, like, also, another thing about the Lamictal, I was taking it, and I was having the same emotional mood swings I normally did, but the only thing that was kind of, like, slightly different is I was getting... Let's see this a little bit. Maybe... I don't like that shape. Let me get rid of the back jacket real quick. I was getting really depressed around this cycle, this part of my cycle, and I usually don't get depressed. So that kind of fucking sucked, but I'm not gonna lie, like, now that the Lamictal is, like, pretty much out of my system, which, again, I'm just basing off the fact that I no longer have the rash I had from it, I guess it's not too bad. Spats in your shoes as well. I didn't miss everything up in chemistry today. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Shout out to school. I lost my train of thought. I got distracted by this. And what on earth was I saying? It's tough out here. Thank God the rash is gone, yeah. Oh yeah, I was getting depressed. I was getting, like, weirdly depressed. Like really, really sad. And, like, now that it's out of my system, like, I feel, like, super happy. So, whatever. All I'm saying is this is points for the team, not bipolar. You know what I mean? I think this is points for team not bipolar. I don't like that. Retweet, exactly. Hopefully it doesn't come back. Yeah, it shouldn't because of the fact I am no longer taking Lamictal. But it is so funny that I started getting that rash. It was funny, obviously very very hyperbolically. Let me see if that looks okay. It might be a little too high, but it doesn't look too bad. Let me see if it's higher than the skirt. No, I could technically do that. It's somehow induced bipolar. I don't know what the hell it did, but it certainly did not make me feel good, that's for sure. That's for sure, that's for sure, that's for sure. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Let me see with the jacket on. It looks too high with the jacket on now. Damn it. Alright, let's do this. Funny, I was like, God, no. I know, that was so fucking funny. It was really funny. It's like, what are the... It's like, I'm the luckiest person when it comes to, like, the worst case scenario. Maybe a little bit more, like, right here. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Let's try that. We're gonna have to just go with that. Alright, let me take off the jacket and make this all similar. Similar shaped. Alright, we're gonna have to do with that then. Okie dokie. Okay. I'm gonna actually be able to do... Where are my spats? Sock cuffs, socks, thigh highs. I have to be very careful. Where the hell? It's probably under underwear. Hold on, let me close this screen real quick. Give me a second. Is it under underwear? Yeah, 100%. Okay. There we go. Spats! Crying emoji. Alright, take that, put that there. Take this. New layer. Line art. God, I hate my big chungus life. Joe Mama has returned. Welcome back, Joe Mama. How are you doing? What a thing to walk on. Yeah. And I had to censor the screen so I didn't flash you guys either. Alright. I hate this freaking oh, I forgot to take my aura ring off. Otto indeed. Listen here. Listen here. I do kind of like how my new model looks like a Blue Archive character in a way. Is that good? Okay, that wasn't too bad. Let's see. Erase. I'm still not used to all these like hotkeys I have to press. Censored screen. Sad emoji. I think one time I didn't censor it. Remember that one time I accidentally showed it? I was like, ooh, she's butt naked. Okay, put that there. Thirsty on main, just auto. Unbelievable. Yeah, LOL. Oh, France. I love the yeah. So I forgot what it was. Put that there. And take this. Back to drawing like this. And I don't want it too low. Pay only for KOs though. We'll keep this PG for the lollyfox, hell yeah. This is a PG-13 stream, guys. Always PG-13. France. Alright. Come on. There we go. That's gonna have to work. God, I hate this program so much. I will probably never, like, use this table. I will say I really enjoyed editing my photos on this tablet, but it's just because, like, I'm such an iPad drawer, it is so hard to get used to. Okay, let me go fixed. Hold on. Fixed. Spat. Line art. LA. PG-13 stream, but wanting 18 plus community. Hell yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It keeps the gooners out. Spats. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Put you right here. Toggle you off very quickly. Okay, so that is the layer. Okay, perfect. Take you, erase. We got this. We got this. I will say I have been working on this model for the last couple of days off stream, so I was like, I'm a little bit better as far as like muscle memory goes. Okay. Take. Make this bigger. Luckily, I'm say-so. Hell yeah. I'm pretty say-so too. The only thing is like, I don't want to attract a community of like immature people. So I do like to try and keep the community 18 plus. Even with being quote-unquote say-so. Because I just don't do the whole, like, lewd thing. Alright. Line art. Perfect. Spat line art. L. A. Yeah. Alright. I think that looks good. Let me take away this real quick. I'll fix that line a little bit more. Didn't keep me out. Are you a gooner? Are you? That was so funny when you were like, why do you have a gooner keychain on your store? And it's funny because like, I didn't even know which one you were talking about. Ooh, that's a weird color. Hold on. What is this? Oh, I know what this is. It's this. Okay. Delete that. I'm teetering so close. But I got this. Speaking of gooners, I want to get Sumi, but I asked my dad to get a gacha game about a pretty horse girls kicked out of my house. You think so? It's just like wholesome. They're like super anti like lewd. All things considered. Okay, put that back. Just draw a little bit more lines over here. In some instances, I've seen some just go straight to 16 plus across Discord and stream. That seems to keep things relatively in check as well. Yeah, it's just easier because like I will say I do every now and then on stream, it's like I'll talk about like sex and stuff like that, but like in a educated way and like reproductive things, but it's not in a sexually gratifying way. It's just in a objective, this is reality way. And so it's just like I still don't want to even like be responsible for like someone being like, oh, you talk about that in front of minors, you know what I mean? Do not scroll a bit left to the left. Exactly. I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm playing so close. Especially when I turned off the color. I think I can actually... I think I can color it. Hold on, without having to center the screen. Agreed, anti-lewd, though. What is a fan's service if you get a good ending with a hot springs ticket? Hell yeah. Like, maybe a special illustration every now... Like, maybe like once a year I'll do a special illustration or something that's like slightly suggestive, but I'm not really a lewd streamer, because like again, like if you do too much lewd content, which I'm very like pro like female body, like just because a female body, you know, is erotic does not mean it's sexualized inherently. But I will say it's like if you do too much suggestive stuff and it looks gooner, you're gonna attract that audience. Good day, Gorv. How are you doing? Gorv, wow. This is like the first time in forever you've said hi to me first before anybody else. This is a rare, rare day. How are you doing? The two streamers I've seen do it aren't older than maybe 25. I see. 16 plus is so odd to me. I feel like it's always for grooming purposes. I will say it is, I don't want to say, I want to say yes, but no. I get the sentiment because they're like basically looking for mature people. But to me, like, I get it because, like, you know, 16-year-olds are way more mature than actual, like, infants. But it is kind of just, it's just easier to make 18 plus, you know what I mean? Fair, says Ani. I hope she didn't. That'd be inappropriate. What the? My friends are way worse than you with sexual stuff, honestly. Yeah, but, like, I talk about it every now and then, because, like, there's a few times where it's, like, we were talking about, like, intimacy and, like, the effects it has on people and stuff like that. So that's what I mean by that. Gorb has finally acknowledged Kaoza! Blush. You're so funny. Thank you, Darkfires, for the $2. I appreciate it. Kaoza's got whole-ass newborn babies in her stream. I used to. I fucking used to. But it's funny, again, like, the best part about these, like, Zoomers and these kids nowadays is that they really get bored. They get bored easily, and I'm not really, like, goo-goo gaga enough for them. And they get bored. Thinking about it, there's an anime that's rated 16 plus, 19 plus. It's not odd in a sense. I know, but it's, like, it's definitely, like, to me, 16 plus shows that, like, you could watch that with your family and it'd just be a little weird. You know what I mean? So, like, the rating kind of, like, indicates the content. But when you invite, like, people that aged, it's a whole nother situation. You know what I mean? Because I do want a mature community. And 9 times out of 10, it's, like, a lot of these kids nowadays are very, very comfortable making... Alright, we're good. Like, accusations to, like, strangers on the internet. Look at that! I didn't even have to censor the screen! We got higher pants! Yeehaw! I don't like how the top is way darker. Way darker. Let's take this. Okay. You'd watch 16 plus with your family? 16 is graphic. Really? I don't really watch content, and I don't really know even what 16 usually entails. So maybe. But my it depends on the context. Like if it's like fighting and stuff like that, then like yeah, I would do 16 and plus content with my family. But if it's like a romance anime, maybe not. You know what I mean? I would never watch a fucking romance anime with my family though. You'd did have babies. None of them are here. Raina's a real one though. She's literally day 1. I know Raina's not a baby though. Raina's like 20 or 21. I love watching her give birth. That was a great stream. So when's the next pregnancy stream? I was actually thinking about it. I have to kind of... Do you also stream on Twitch? I just like to chat more in there. Unfortunately, I don't. I'm very salty. I'm very salty about Twitch as a platform as a whole. So I don't at the moment, to be completely honest with you. I just don't really like... I don't like Twitch, I would say. So I don't dual stream. It's really funny though, because I see people following me on there all the time. And I'm like, what are you doing? Not once have I ever said I use this. I loved watching her give birth. I know, I do. Thank you for the $1, Girth Demon. I appreciate it. I do need to do another pregnancy stream. I will probably do it after I finish my taxes. After I finish my taxes, because that gives me a good idea of, like, my financial situation, the things I need to take care of, the responsibility. Okay, I take it back. I have work due for that, company in April. So once that's done, and once the taxes are done, I'll do another pregnancy stream. It's like we're like real animals, you know what I mean? Because like we're giving birth in the spring, just like last time. What is a pregnancy stream? It's a stream where we collectively as a community give birth. And so basically, long story short, so I have these children. You know my little children, right? Let me bring them out. I'm out the loop of the pregnancy stream. Oh, you guys. You guys are about to learn today. Oh, whoops, I'm dragging myself. Okay, so you know how I have my little children, right? Let me see. I gotta get them out so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll just give out my aircraft. Alright, so I have my children. And what we do on the pregnancy stream is we all come up with, like, an idea for a new child. And then we vote on it. So, like, we're like, okay, should we have long hair or short hair? and then we vote in chat, and so chat like literally decides what the character ends up looking like. And so we keep doing that over and over, and then eventually we turn it into a live 2D model like this, an actual child, and we make the child also available for people to download. So like if you like, the child we made last year is available to like download for free since we all made it together. But I make a child essentially. But I'll show you this ugly ass disgusting child we made last time. That's the only problem, is because like you guys collectively too much chefs in the recipe, to say the least. So I have cute children, obviously, you know, I have cute children. This is not the kid child, or bleh. It's not the kid chat made. These are my cute children. You see how cute they are? Now let me show you this abomination. Bro dropped the C word like it was nothing. The C word. You guys are funny. Alright, here is this abomination. Wait a minute. I don't even know if I have her installed. I don't even think I have her installed in here. Oh, I do. Here we go. Damn. I do have this ugly thing. This is what chat created for our pregnancy stream last year. This. So we voted on having long twin tails. We voted on the gradient. We voted on the hair, the antlers. She was supposed to be a water dragon. We voted on the design, and yeah, so we designed our own stream and created a child. That's the pregnancy stream. What is on my stream? You know what I mean? And her name is Long May. We voted on the name too. I'm not gonna say what kind of chefs. You know, it could be worse. I mean, so this is what I gave birth to canonically last year. You know? We love Long May. I thought she was a deer. She was supposed to be a water dragon. But I think we need a little bit more refinement this year. Maybe a few presets designed beforehand. Do we have to pay child support? Yes. Whoever super chats the most gets to be the father. Whoever donates the most super chats gets to be the father of the child. Yeehaw. Size for me, I think, are the problem. Yeah. Yep, this is our beautiful child. You guys take responsibility. Take responsibility. This is your child. Oh god. So that's how adopting works. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Alright, get out of here, Long May. This ugly thing. She does look kind of like cute sometimes, not gonna lie. She looks, sometimes she looks cute. Like when she's doing that, she looks cute. Oh my god! Okay, devil emoji. You are so funny, Dark Virus. You are so funny. I didn't birth that. True, you weren't here. You're gonna be responsible for the next child. You're gonna be responsible for the next child. Not this child, but the next child. So yeah, I did the pregnancy stream last year. So we'll do another one. And it's really nice because this artist who creates these models, his name is Saika. He's insanely fast. So like literally he can create one of these little models like overnight. It's insane. So it's like we get the child really rigged up and ready to go really quickly. I think if you had one with one eye, only koi, it would look better. Only one color? Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so we voted for the pupils and the freaking yin yang pupils won. And I was like, what the hell is this? Yin yang pupils? I'll gladly adopt Long May. Yes, that's Long May. Yeah, and I keep in the server, I actually have the files, I think, somewhere where again, like you can download her and do fuck all with her too. So she's our community child, to say the least. I'm doing God's work, Gluten. Desato Gardos, and I think my favorite design aspect lost every poll. Gorv, you have to be a political campaigner. That's what you have to do. It's make or break it when it comes to these little things. But I think that's how Gore found me, was the pregnancy stream. I wonder how many other people actually found me through the pregnancy stream. Because I do like the thumbnail of like the anime character, like, you know when they're like pointing to the pregnancy test? That's my favorite part of the pregnancy stream. We got the next one, Gorv. Should we do like, okay, so should we in advance do more planning in a way? Like, hey, here's at least the themes. Because I will say coming up with the themes on the fly kind of sucked. But it wasn't the end of the world. That is correct. What am I in this family? What am I in this? A father. Listen here. I'm just trying to... listen here. I'm having so many children because I'm just trying to collect child support. You know? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. This economy is brutal. You know, child support pays the bills. And I help keep it organized. Yeah. Long May, says Auto. The chaos of files just dropped. You're funny. You're so funny. But yeah, I do have the model files. Okay, erase. So that will be sometime in the spring, because I gotta work on my taxes here soon. Let's see. I do want to add a little bit of shading here. Be mature. I think only like 3 of mine won. Some people have just the worst taste. The absolute worst taste in, what's it called? Design. It'd probably be a little bit wider, actually. I'm the weird cousin IRL, too. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think that looks okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. What shading pre socks black against 3am room black? What the hell did that even mean? Those were just literally words generated. AI generated those words. Speaking of which, I found it very interesting. So it's like, I have a very indifferent take, obviously, on AI and generative AI and stuff like that. But I noticed that, like, even, like, imagery AI, stuff like that, is becoming more, like, accepted. Would you add a dino onesie to your new model, perchance? Sure, that one leaf if you want to fund it. New outfits only cost, you know, $1,000 to $3,000. Oh, I was talking about for my 3D model. I don't know why I had that in mind, person, but absolutely fuck not when I draw it. I hate drawing. Funny enough, I can picture those 2 colors of black in my head. Oh yeah. Can my collab be the pregnancy stream? You are so funny. I still need to do that. like, listen here with me and all my IOUs. IO Dark Virus stream. IO, that one leaf a stream. That one leaf, when are we collabing? And what are we collabing? Alright, erase. Put that a little bit there. See, I'm not AI, just good at describing things. I got enough for my birthday, I'll do it. You're so funny. You're like, I'm a big baller now. Have you scrapped ideas in an abortion stream? Good God. Yeah, I mean, technically. God, that's so funny. What would constitute an abortion stream? 3am room is black and slightly lighter than black than the chance that there's a faint light to help pupils adjust to what's in the dark. I say it before, I'll say it again, people only dislike AI because it's noticeably ugly. As it gets better, people stop complaining. Yeah, so there's this new, Leaf, have you heard that new song called, I think it's corny. It's that new Teto song called, like, Brain Rot something. But it's from the same person who made Doomer. So it has kind of like a cool vibe to it. But the artist made the song, and the Teto animation is, like, human-made. Like, it's a drawing, like, it's a human. But all the backgrounds are generative AI. And people in the comments are like, see, it's fine though, because, like, he put so much work into the animation, it's still, like, human-related. And I remember how, like, that, like, no matter what, if you used any AI whatsoever, you were crucified. You know, now it's like a lot of people are saying, like, well, he did put work into it, so it's not that bad. And I'm just like, that's very interesting to see the tide shift. Free socks are a Father Ted reference. I see. Leaf, did you hear that new Teto song? I've seen it, I liked it, I really don't care. Music good means music good. You don't care about what, though? I'm assuming you mean AI, but, like, I'm confused. I found that interesting. Was that too far? If the stream crashes, it's a miscarriage stream. Oh god, I guess so. I guess so, technically. Have you guys listened to Another Cup? I've never even heard of Another Cup. I don't care if he's AI background. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't care either. Again, like, I just have, like, bigger things to worry about in life. Like, for example, like, a lot of people were, they get, like, all bent out of shape when, like, these big companies are using, like, AI in the background. Like, I don't care. It's like, again, like, I personally don't use it, because I, first of all, don't draw backgrounds, lol, ever. But, like, I don't care. You know? Only if KO didn't save and lose all the work. Oh, that's true. True. That would be a true miscarriage. True miscarriage. If I failed the stream but it kept going, that'd be like a, you know, a medical intervention. Alright, alpha lock. Let's make a little bit lighter here. Yeah, like right around this area. AI is invariably the future. They need to learn to use it like a tool instead of trying to resist the flow. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's kind of like how some people are like in the, this is obviously a very exaggerative case, but how some people are very anti-electricity and anti-social media. It's like at the end of the day, it'll be people's choices whether or not they use it. So it's like they don't necessarily have to. And it is like a kind of I don't want to say it's a moral thing, but it kind of is in a way. But I think the excessive outrage isn't I don't like that there. Isn't useful. If you actually double the drawing, is it a twin stream? Technically, I was trying to like push chat to design the kid a different way, and I did come out with another kid, and that was my aircraft. And so technically they're sisters, so that's why they actually look identical. Like they have this pretty much the same hairstyle, but different colors. So actually we did give birth to twins. It's just like what chat came up with. Oh, there goes my tablet. What chat came up with and what I came up with. So it's like you see how they actually have the same like the same hoodie and the same hair. A few differences in the hair. Yeah, overall, same hair, same hoodie, same leggings, just different styles, a little bit differently. Thanks to Sato idea about an aircraft auto. Oh, whatever. Yes, you gave me my most beloved daughter. My beloved daughter. My beloved tomboyish daughter. I wonder if anybody got that reference. Longmay is the better twin. I could never love a clanker. She's not a clanker, though. She has no autonomy. She's not a robot. She's just an empty shell. You know, who exists for our protection. Guys, she was in Iran recently. You know, doing her job. She's only created for protection. You know what I mean? Parents definitely have a favorite. Okay, first of all, how is it a favorite if I don't even acknowledge one of them? But thank you, my dear Dark Virus. Guys, stop dropping the C word. Seriously, words can hurt. No, I have to teach my daughter the C word can't hurt her. She has to become stronger than that. Let me get some tea. Salute to her service in Iran. Hell yeah. I'm drinking some mullein tea. As someone who lives with two machines in my body, the C star is offensive. Exactly. Exactly, but listen here, Gluten. We gotta grow up. My husband's a C word. You know, we gotta grow up. We can't let words hurt us, you know? Because think about it, words are trying to be used as tools to inflict pain, but if we take away their infliction, they don't make us any pain. You know, we're good. I just cannot wait until the AI, these big companies are using delete all emails and employee data and they can't do anything because they did not say please to the AI. I wonder if it'll ever get that level of sentiency. Alright. Back to drawing these spats. Okay, that looks fine actually. I don't need anything too extreme to say the least for the spats. Is this dark enough though? Did you see they can't get the AIs to stop using nukes during wargame? No. That's actually so funny. I mean, like, think about it. If it's like the smartest thing to quote unquote do, and of course like the AI is gonna do that, that's actually really funny. Isn't AI going bankrupt? Absolutely not. There's a lot of misconceptions. Alpha lock? No. I will do a new layer actually. With AI, but the thing is like AI is like at the moment open source. It's like how well you can make your algorithm specifically that makes it valuable. Like both ChatGPT are like the same levels of AI in a way. I don't know how to explain this, but one uses a different algorithm that's way more powerful and stronger, which is like Claude. You know what I mean? But it's definitely not going bankrupt. A lot of people, like, and it's just like one of those things, it's like, however you feel about it is like one thing, like morally and ethically, but the other thing is, like spreading misinformation, because like a lot of people, I had to be careful there, say like AI is like a big, like water resource hungry thing, And it's really not when you actually look at the real data and stuff like that. Okay, so what did you like about the Pokemon from what you saw? The game itself looked kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. This is the first time where I was like, wow, that actually looks like a decent Pokemon game. But, I don't know if I'd waste time playing it. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe for a stream or something. Like, literally just, like, one stream. Which, I mean, I guess that's a good part about Pokemon is that they're very short games, relatively speaking. But I think all the starters look terrible. Like, what the... I guess the owl looks kind of funny, but, like, other than that, what the... My friend tried to get ChatGPT to tell him how to perform open heart surgery. Did it teach him? I know sometimes it's like, oh, we can't do that. They have, for the most part, pivoted away from water, focusing on using other cooling methods. Yeah. Yeah, and even still, like, there was, like, a report, like, I'm not even gonna, like, say the data off the top of my head, because I don't know it specifically, and people take, like, the whole AI conversation very seriously, but, like, I do have, like, I posted it in the Discord. It was a report talking about, like, how, it is very, very, overblown how much water AI actually uses. We'll be back in a little, be lurking while the stream plays mobile, and I'll drive to the office. Hell yeah, drive safely. Hot take, people are blaming AI on ice caps melting instead of everything else going on, which has contributed 10 times more to global warming. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what's... and it's like, I don't... how do I say this? It's like, there is things that we use that are 10 times, like, worse than AI. You know what I mean? And so it's like, that's why it's like... I think the outrage for AI, and I think this is reasonable to a degree, is just the fact that it's effectively making, excuse me, what layer is this on? Hold on, give me a second. Whoops, I put on the wrong layer. Oh well. It is effectively making, like, humans, like, have wasted their time because, like, so many people learned for years how to do things and they, like, dedicated their whole life to it, and AI just took that away in seconds. And so people are now kind of, like, embarrassed and upset that they spent so much time on something that a machine does in a nanosecond and uses absolutely zero resources and energy. And so it's like they're envious in a way of that fact. But I think that is a very fucking that's a very valid feeling to have. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't think it's wrong, but I just think that's the reason why so many people are upset with AI. Because think about it, because, like, again, like I've even said in the past, it messed me up really badly in the beginning. It's like, I've spent the last, like, 20 years learning how to draw, and it can draw better than me in, like, literally seconds. And so it's just like, wow, why did I waste all those years learning how to draw? But then I reframed my mind and realized that, you know, quite literally, it's not about the output. It's like whether or not I'm enjoying the journey of drawing, and I'm enjoying the fact that my body and brain can come up with these illustrations. And so honestly now, I will say, not to say whether or not, like, if AI exists or not, my perspective would have never gotten to this point, but I do have a better appreciation for myself as an illustrator and for artists overall because of AI. See the lines? Like, that does something to me. It says, fire X heart, a married man. I love saying that regardless of, like, status. I'm gonna get some sleep. Hope a good stream. Thank you, Mix Latte. I appreciate it. I just like AI art since it was generated and there's no soul behind it, but anything else, I think it's fine. Yeah, I would say I kind of see where you're coming from, but it's like, I'm not even gonna lie. Some people have generated AI art that has more soul than anything I could have ever created. But I know what you mean, because, like, yes, the art is impressive. I think it's beautiful done. I think it's nice. But I know for a fact a human did not make this, so I will say by that fact alone, it just is less impressive to me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm married, not dead. Hell yeah. Another Father Ted reference to the uncultured one. I don't even know what the fuck Father Ted is. What is that? You know? In the end, all LLMs are just prelude to epistemic engines. Gorv, tell me, what is an epistemic engine? Tell me. That's a new word I've never heard before. Art is one of the most human things humans have done, and using machine to make it is weird. I could see that. I could see that. But the thing is, to me, is, like, they could both exist. You know what I mean? Like, you can, like, I will say, like, for example, the most recent thing I see AI used for is, like, shitposting and memes and stuff like that. And if it's, like, used for, like, fodder, which is just, like, you know, meme fodder, is that so bad? I don't really think so, you know what I mean? But I will say, there is like at this point where it's like, it comes down to the person and how they are perceiving it. Look at me, I'm not drawing. This bitch is just blabbing. But it depends on how the person perceives it. Because like if you create with AI, I think AI is a fantastic tool in all circumstances for people who are educated and smart. But if you're not educated, you're not smart, you don't have a good head on your shoulders, it is a very bad thing because people are going to think like, I created this. And it's like just typing in the prompts is not really a process. We know this. You know what I mean? So I think that is also a big distinction as well. Let me hit save. Yeehaw. We have seen art that humans make that make you wonder, please kill the art soul. That is true. That is true. And that's also another thing. It's like art is a therapeutic thing, like anything a human does. It's just a form of communication. But it doesn't necessarily, just because you're communicating, mean anything significant. You know what I mean? Because like I have seen people draw very, very bad things, to say the least. And it doesn't mean like just because they created art, it's something deeper and should be respected. You know what I mean? Epistemic engines are systems designed to simulate, structure, and evolve understanding by ingesting or organizing, evaluating, updating knowledge. They are function as a modular, self-improving frameworks that enable machines to build and refine beliefs through structured reasoning and dynamic learnings. Epistemic engines are AI-driven systems designed to validate and organize data. They have the ability to store previous filings and to recursive reflect upon its knowledge. Oh god, Phantom Crustacean. Gorb, thank you for the info dump. We are Charlie Kirk. Hell yeah. You know exactly what this was, working stream. Okay, but like, okay, look, but I fixed the pants. Okay, so we are making progress. We're making progress. I'm not reading all that. You don't have to. I just read it. I just read it. I don't mind AI too much, but I mind AI videos that can create realistic images of celebrities committing crimes. Yeah, I do think it's, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. I could say a big flaw in my logic by saying, like, it's fine for AI artwork, but then, like, celebrities are not fine. Because technically both instances are, information is taken without consent, which is artist information versus celebrities information. But I do think it is a different degree when a celebrity has their image stolen, or even a normal person has their image stolen with AI. You know what I mean? I think I can get rid of this now. Get out of here. Alright, so we got the spats at a proper length. Alright, we got the skirt. And find flaws in their own knowledge. They can in fact and even refuse to answer your question if they lack information on the subject. That's kind of cool. Is that accessible now? I do wonder. I mean, people had the same issue as humans be able to do it too. Yeah, that is true. That is true. AI is also such a yes man, even the idea is to blow up your garden gnomes with 10 billion nukes. See, that's another one of those pieces of, like, misinformation that, I was kind of talking about, where it's, like, a lot of the anti-AI crowd, they really think these things to be true. But that is, depending on how we use the AI and the case specifically, kind of like how I was talking about how ChatGPT retired the 4.1 model, I think 4.0 or 4.1 model. It was a AI engine that very often fell into those like ideas that were kind of like toxic, and so that's why they literally deleted the algorithm, you know, the specific engine model, there we go, module, whatever, the AI. But that's really not the case anymore, because like I will say the early product of AI, yes, absolutely agreed with you 9 times out of 10, but nowadays it does push back. And if you ask it, say, hey, can you source your information, it'll bring up the exact article it's sourcing its information for. You know what I mean? Alright, Phantom, looks like a lot of smart words around here. Oh, there's supposed to be a skirt. Now it's much more modest outfit. Yeah. I needed to raise the shorts a little higher, so that's why. This is the full outfit. Where's my, let's see. Back jacket. I hate Clip Studio Paint. Blue jacket. There we go. This is what the full jacket, like, looks like. But yeah, I was working on making her pants. Wait, you're low-key right? It wouldn't let us do the open heart surgery. Yeah, it probably wouldn't. Like, so it's like, that's what I'm saying. It does have, like, some pushback, especially nowadays. You know what I mean? ChatGPT is smart. Hell yeah. Just for anyone who's curious. Phantom, like, yeah, we need definition of everything, but, you know, And I will say, Phantom, in art, when it comes to communication, there's like an art to communication. It is better to say things in less words when you're trying to explain it to somebody than over pontificate the explanation, because often people get lost in the esoteric lexicon of what you're using. So if you just explain it a little bit more plainly, it takes a little bit more effort. It might be more effective with your communication, you know? That's an amazing ensemble, hell yeah. Dark Virus, I've read the paper Phantom is currently quoting. It's not ChatGPT. Gorb is so smart. Dark Virus, you hear that? He's like, I know exactly what paper he's referencing right now. Gorb is so smart. Gorb, what the heliante? What the heliante, Gorb? You're such a smart little kid. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Where's my blue jacket? Alright, let me see what I need to work on next. Probably need to draw these chains because I really don't want to. I used a chain brush and now I'm going to trace over them so I can put the chains around the legs. Lord have mercy, I'm gone for 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Gorb, how do I do open heart surgery? Damn checked, KOs. You're so funny. Thank you, my dear Dark Virus. You know? But that's just my opinion. Alright. Yeah, we get the hair clip. Let me do the chains on the feet. Alright, where the hell are these fucking chains even anyway? Let's hide that. Hide that. Hide the underwear. Bedtime for me! Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Good night, that one leaf. It's a Friday night and you're abandoning me. Wild. Wild. Alright, let's take you... No, what the... Oh, that's the pseudo bow. Let me name my layers real quick. I actually deleted layers like multiple times yesterday. She's so blue and she has no yellow in her hair anymore. Yeah, I got rid of the yellow. I wanted it to be more monochromatic because I can theme my artwork a little bit better. Because like, do you know anything about other VTubers gluten-free acrylic? The monochromatic ones are really really easy to like make stuff for. Like, as far as, like, thumbnails and stuff, because, like, you can see they're, like, visually who they are right away. I have way too many colors in this current model. Which I do like it, don't get me wrong, but it's just not really good for branding long-term. Bow sketch. Yeah, the tips of my ears no longer have the yellow either. Tip of my tail. I'll F up my freshly fixed sleep schedule for you. Hell yeah. No, definitely go to bed if you need to. Sketch. It's the first or second result when searching up the topic. I was bored one day to class a few months back. I had nothing to do, so I read it. Gorb, have you ever taken an IQ test? Sent 5 and be gifted memberships. Thank you. Have you ever taken an IQ test, Gorb? Look at that. Thank you, my dear. Oh, look, Fireheart got one. Thank you. Shout out to MS, Raynon, Proxy, and No Limit. Hell yeah. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate it. There's 4 of you synchronizing. Must be the expired taco meat. What the? Leave my children on yellows, your KOs. That's actually funny. Leave my children out of this. We got a hit. Hell yeah. I was here. Thank you. An epistemic engine is basically a machine or system that takes messy, uncertain stuff from the word and turns it into clear, more reliable knowledge. Hell yeah. You see how you put that so much clearer? Listen here. Not everyone has high IQ, okay? That helps me so much better. You know what I mean? What the hell? Give me 1 second real quick. BRB. That was gross. Something just came out of my mouth. And I'm like, that's definitely probably, part of the healing process of my tooth. Nasty. Yeah, we can low-key tell, twin. I don't have the high IQ either, I just use grok. I see. Oh, that's so interesting. Gorb is so smart. He knew the article grok was pulling up. Look at that. Gorb is the champion Donatachis. She's gone quit, like start a riot. You left for 2 milliseconds. Yeah, I just had to go rinse off my, my hands in the sink. But Gorv, see Gorv, he comes up with all this knowledge from within. He's a very smart kid. You know, he comes to these streams just because like he knows we're gonna dote on him and give him all these good job, Gorv, you're doing amazing. Alright, what is this? Maybe this is a chain. Alright, yeah, chain 1. Sketch 1. This should be 2, right? Yep. The chat itself is the engine fixing the knowledge gap. I see. Chain. Sketch 2. Or be sitting, you know. Normal conversation, one person knows something, the others doesn't, that's difference. Pushes talk forward, questions gets asked, stories get told, corrections happen. Alright, you lost me again. Rip. How do you get to your sink that fast? I'm in a bedroom. Where do you think I am? Where do you think I am? I'm like, I think that's also another reason why it's so quick for me to use the restroom, because like literally the restroom is probably maybe 11 feet from me. First I'm catching a lie. Found you on Instagram. Hello, hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? I don't think the first part was grok, since it was literal word for word copy. I see, I see. Hazel, you should play Roblox. Draw me sometime. What the? Roblox. Alright, let's start working on these little chains. And I'll work on that little external hair bow. I kind of like it, I kind of don't, so I might as well just make it an accessory. Alright. She's just streaming in the bathroom, doesn't want us to know. You got me. You got me. Gotcha. Not again, Phantom! Yeah, hey, Phantom, you don't have to copy- Phantom, what is going on here? Phantom, what's going on? You don't have to copy and paste everything, you know? As much as I, want to see some cited sources, they're not exactly cited in this context, so it's kind of technically useless for me, but I do appreciate the gesture. It's going- I joined the Discord on Poyet from a week or 2 ago. Ah, I see. Copy paste is boring. Like, yeah, like, I have access to copying and pasting, too. So that's what I mean, is, like, why it's so important to be able to communicate, effectively with your, audience. I don't even want to know what the hell just came out of my mouth. Chain. 1. Line art. Anyways, are you feeling better? I think, it depends. It depends on the context of feeling better. I've had a couple things going on lately. So, I'm getting, the Lamictal out of my system, so that's kind of like feeling better in a way. Good, I've had a long week, my brain's gonna melt soon. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. BRB says Gorf, thank you. Thank you for the notice that you're gonna BRB. A little more. I don't have the means to remember all that at once, so I just pull up the information. Oh, I see, I see. I see. That's fair. Just read it and summarize it. That's the most gracious thing you could technically do. You know, because I will say that's my favorite part about learning things, is that, like, I like reading books and being able to communicate to people in, like, an easier, digestible way. But it is a skill in and of itself to be able to do that. Create information that is easily digest. That's why, like, there are good teachers and there's bad teachers. You know, bad teachers just read from the book. Like, a good teacher should be able to explain it to you in different words that, like, best suit you. You know, it fits its audience more. It's like if I was explaining something to, like, a child, I would have to change a lot of the things I say. You know what I mean? I do apologize if it bothered anyone. No worries, it's not that big of a deal. It's just kind of funny. You know, we have kids coming in here sometimes spamming 6ix9ine, and, like, you're technically just spamming, like, education. So it's like, I don't have too many complaints. You know, it could be worse. My internet once too many Miku's hiding it. VR keeps cutting out. You live in Ireland, right? Shout out to the Ireland Wi-Fi. I do wonder how much internet costs over there. Because the internet I have costs me an arm and a leg. I am back! What subject? Welcome back, our hella studious Child Gorv. Gorv, how is your perspective on life? All things considered. Do you struggle, Gorv, with the fact that the people around you are probably not as smart as you? And do you feel isolated as a result? I do wonder. Alright, let's put that right here. Kind of end that. Let me... Does that make any sense? Let's see. I can make it make sense. I wish you good luck, Gluten. My test, yeah, I'm gonna study hard. I hate school so much. I hate it so much. Let me get more chapstick on. You know, I noticed that my lips and the surrounding area, my lips have been like so dry. Like I have to smear Aquifer all over it. I'm just worried about my tooth, sorry. To feel any relief. I wonder if that had something to do with Lamictal too, because it does like kind of goes towards those areas first. You just said shout out to school like 15 minutes ago. Fuck school. Hashtag not bipolar. Now what? I do not have any expertise in open heart surgery and can therefore not tell you anything about it. Gluten-free acrylic paint. Alright, Gorv, answer my question. Answer my question. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Excuse me? Why did that do that? That was annoying. Hashtag not bipolar. I really am not. Okay, so think about it, Dark Virus. I take a mood stabilizer, it doesn't stabilize my mood. What could that mean? It means I'm not bipolar. Gorv, do you know what Cat's Eye is? You're so funny. I thought Cat's Eye was kind of like... It's like cool in thought, but then this whole fucking eat zucchini. Get out of here. This is... It's like they're trying too hard to be quirky and cringe. You know what I mean? No, you don't get it. It's iconic. It's iconic. No. My friend calls me a monkey all the time. That's fair. Maybe you're acting like one. I used to call my little brother a monkey. But he kind of like genuinely resembled one, so... Chaosa, you're so base. Thank you, Leo's Burgers. I do wonder why. But thank you anyway. Erase. Back over here. Wasn't here, Sato. Where are you? You haven't popped up in chat recently. I wonder if I'm ever gonna get an answer to Gorv. I think that looks alright. No, it's purely on skin color. My friends thinks they're comedy final boss. I see, I see. Do you, hit him back with anything equally, comedy final boss? I do wonder. Based on my Chaosa research, I'd say terms may apply. Also, guys, check out new 3.0 charms at chaosa.store. Hell yeah, guys, I'm slowly... I haven't had a chance to update that in a while. Updating my store to higher quality products. Please check it out at chaosa.store. Hell yeah. Thank you, my dear Dark Virus. Thank you. Okay, so basically after reading it over, the epistemic engine, who is essentially talking about the understanding, storing, and structure of knowledge from human mind, social interactions, AI. I see, I see. I have a normal outlook on life. I surround myself with other people that share an affinity for STEM. I see, I see. Is your family also equally smart? You know? And how is your perspective? Do you ever consume social media? How is your perspective of social media? Because obviously I don't really, I think you seem like a knowledgeable person, but maybe you're not I wonder how you see the world. You know? Because I know the more educated that I get on just various topics in general, the more suffering I, experience. As far as reflecting on humanity. What's something I can come back with when my white friends call me a monkey? I don't know, any racist experts in chat wanna weigh in? You know what I mean? I'm not, maybe not, don't weigh in. maybe not, never mind. I'm surely that could be, just go on twitter.com And look for some anti-racist stuff against white people. There you go. We will get banned. You know what I mean? I was like, wait a minute, this is gonna sound terrible. or I tell him to episode I wouldn't even touch them with a 10-foot pole. Well, first of all, by the way, are these really your friends, or these are just people you're hanging out with so you don't feel lonely? You know what I mean? I was about to I was about to type something. Because I was like, no matter what, whoever types anything, even if you're just responding, it's gonna look like I have just like giga racists just on call. Like, all right, you guys, we need your power. I mean, there are many ways you can respond, but I don't think YouTube would like to hear me. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Okay, so no, they're not. I keep off most social medias. Very smart. Look at you. Such a smart boy. Such a smart lad. That's great to hear. I don't think it's that serious. I'll get rid of that. Yeah, because I have a, because I like to do a lot of like studying like philosophy and psychology and human behavior and stuff like that. It is very upsetting to see how a lot of people perceive the world. Race Team 6! Just at the ready. You know? And this is how I know Tesato's not watching, because you know he would have made a fucking joke so quickly. Alright. Alright, I think I'm done with you. Get out of here. And now, chain art liner. We need that still. Now we need to do this one. This is how I know he's fucking... he's not watching me. Exactly, Chaos. You know, he would have been like, it is my time to play the edgelord character. You know, that's how I know he's fake as fuck fan of me. Let's change the subject. I did my English exam. How did it go? How did it go? I'm so glad I'm not in school. I was always a very terrible test taker. Yeah, I'm a racist. I drive very fast. Hell yeah. I want to do more Zwifting streams. I really do. Hope my new dehumidifier helps out. And I think I'm going to start just listening to a... Because it's kind of hard to, like, thoroughly speak when I'm biking. I might just start listening to music and stuff like that. Like, copyrighted music and stuff like that. And just understand, like, the video is just going to be, like, demonetized. It's a little bit more enjoyable. Hello, debunk user in Otero. Yeah, I'm racist. You know what I mean? That's so funny, because, like, technically, like, anything you guys say, like, there's a very likelihood I'm saying it, because I read you guys' comments. My exam went well. It was a debate about social media pressures, and my teacher said we all did really good. Ooh. What was your side of the debate? I do wonder. I love anything debating. I love debating. I haven't had a good solid debate in a while. Unfortunately. Yeah, you remember my DDDJ dark stuff screams? Those were so funny. Yeah, actually, the thing is I just want to, like, you know, motivate myself to exercise and, like, motivate other people to consider exercising. So it's like, it's better if I play music anyway. I'll take the L on the, I'll save, listen here, I'll, give up the few pennies I make from the VOD. You know. Howdy, Gorf! Each time I click in there, there are more at the bottom. My children? My cute little children. It wasn't a debate, it was like we all talked about there's a different word for it. What'd you guys talk about? A discussion. Maybe you're talking about a discussion? Are you well? Says Gorf. Are you well? I love how when I'm drawing on these like kind of streams, I feel like the majority of the thing I'm talking about is just me reading you guys' conversations with each other. Kind of hard to process multiple pieces of information. Drawing? Well, and conversating at the same time. I want to exercise more, but my blood sugars always get so low and fast when I do. Huh, you have to start slowly, like walking. Walking, and you can't really do high intensity cardio. But do, like, walking and do, muscle-resistant training. That's the best way for type, like, diabetes, is muscle-resistant training. Because a muscle, when it builds, creates things that are better for insulin processing. My son took the Switch too. Time the draw. Where did he take it to? I wonder. Alright, we'll put you like this. Alright, not perfect. Whatever. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. I'm well. How are you? Hi, kids. I'm just popping in for a minute. Hope you have a good stream. Hello, Hoshimara. How are you doing? I've turned to gymnastics. I'm trying to be more flexible. Why not? Dark Fire's out here battling his kids for time on the Xbox. He's like, these fucking kids. Making good progress. Thank you, thank you. I'm trying. To the best of my ability, I'm trying. I'm definitely doing more now than I've done my past working streams. I got a box of donuts for a pastor fundraising. Oh my god. Feel free to take a picture and put it in the Discord if you still have access to it. I love donuts. I'm on this like huge like gluten-free diet or whatever the hell diet it is. And I can't even eat sugar anymore, so it's like, oh god. Donuts were great. Hoshimaru pig emoji. Tasato, where the hell were you? Because you just got back. You fake ass fan of me. Me mentioned, hell yeah. Don't eat me. I love eating things. But not anymore. Cheating. I know, he was out cheating. Can you believe it? Spread the donuts, Yoshi. Oh, I love donuts. Sorry, I had some things to take care of. You know, and the saddest part about this Tasato is I said, gluten-free acrylic was asking for racist suggestions towards white people. And I'm like, alright, any racists in chat can give us some advice? And you didn't answer. That's how I knew you weren't here. That's how I knew. That is not what I said. That's exactly what you said. That's exactly what you said. Earl Mayo, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna get work guys done if you keep talking about donuts. He killed someone. Who's Yoshi? You're funny, Hoshimaru. Alright, I don't know if that looks that good, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't look too bad. Maybe if I add like a link over here. Alright. Take you, put this there. Put this here. Do you guys by any chance have any ideas of what I can do for YouTube videos? I do want to do a little bit more of those. But I haven't really thought of many ideas of what I can do. I know I can do talking and stuff like that, but like I don't even know what to talk about. Don't get me wrong, like emotional trauma dump slop will always be on the table, but like it's not effective long term, you know what I mean? Play Clash Royale. I'm not playing a goopy ass video game. You could try making donuts for a video. Well, I can't even eat them though. You know? I can't even eat them. Alright, let's take that, put you away. We'll go back to this one. This is the sketch. Delete. Try this one. Let me see. Not bad. I'll add a little chain link over here. Play Draw Me on Roblox. What the hell is Draw Me? And the thing is the gluten-free acrylic. The thing is I do want to like market myself to like a more mature audience. So I don't want to do child slop, you know, because that's gonna attract children. You know what I mean? I do know some adults enjoy Roblox, but what kind of adult enjoys Roblox? You know what I mean? Where is my eraser? There we go. Speed up drawing videos with lo-fi? I'd like to talk over them though, but like, what is the topics I talk about? You know what I mean? What I do in a day, my new diet. It would be so boring. I gotta use the restroom now. Ugh! Give me 1 second, BRB. I returned. Certain adults with a perchance of grooming enjoy Roblox. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I understand that. Like, that's the whole joke in the meme. But I just think it's like, in my opinion, it just tends to like lean towards childish people. You know what I mean? Like, every adult I know that plays like Fortnite is very like childish, you know what I mean? Not to say inherently there's anything wrong being childish, but like, it's just an observation. Fortnite. Let's start calling it that from now on. How did my dad navigate Monopolis airspace today? That sounds awesome, Monday hater! I don't really understand what that means, but that sounds awesome, low-key. Gooners. Isn't Roblox a hotbed for predators? That's what I'm hearing, but I think that's like most of these like unmoderated places, you know what I mean? I will say, I gotta get that set up. I do want to do VR chat. Does anybody know by any chance if I have a 3D model, which I still do actually, I still have not used it, I haven't been too busy. If I have a 3D model, can I just export it to VR chat? Because I want to talk. We can start a podcast, Chaos After Dark, with a diet plan. Chaos dot store for charm, stickers, and Documakara. Thank you, my dear Dark Virus, single-handedly funding my career with all your sweet and kind donations. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? But, I lost my train of thought. Give me a second. Let me read, I think the model has to be great. That's what I was asking. VR chat. Because I know there's a lot of very interesting, mentally interesting people in VR chat. And I'd like to go talk to them. Because I want to learn more about them. I think they're very, very fascinating the way they perceive life. And I think that'd be very fun to just talk to them. Like, not in a demeaning way, just like learn more about these types of people who like live in VR chat. You know what I mean? And this becomes their whole world. You know what I mean? That's really true. Deeply childish. You know what I mean? OMG, it's a hive mind. Fort Block sounds like the Walmart brand ripped off. You know what I mean? Or it's when I'd find everyone in Roblox services, spam them to the request of my brother had an interview and get me to stop. Gluten-free, you are certainly the person of all time. Into a VRM file. I see. I see. As long as it's rigged correctly, you can put anything in VR chat. You sound like a sci-fi movie villain. I'm just interested. I love learning about people. That's such a good idea. Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Because I do know a lot of people come in there and like they go into VR chat to harass these people for content. And I think that's a little cruel. Because it's like they're making a joke out of them, but I would like to understand them more. Because like everybody at the end of the day has internally in their head an explanation for their behavior. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'd love to know the explanations. What does a person of all time means? That's the best part. That's for you to find out. Where the hell did my stylus go? That's for you to find out what the person of all time means. You know? You are the person of all time. I think that'd be great. Because, like, even, like, it's like, weird. And this is also another reason why, again, like, I do want a more mature audience. Like, even people with very, very strange strange fetishes and stuff like that, it usually comes from a psychological reason. So it's like, I would even like to learn about, like, people's fetishes and stuff like that. So it tells a lot about people and their experiences. It's like, have they had a traumatic experience as a child? Do they have brain damage? Have they had an injury? Like, there's always usually an explanation for it. And I find it interesting. Ayo! I do mean it. Alright, where's the, color? I'm gonna use this color right here. How do I comment on this subject? I don't know. Just the fact that, what part of the subject? I do wonder then. Chain 1 color. Chain 1 color. Yeehaw! I say it's really hard to see this color. That's why you shouldn't choose this color for coloring. Wait a second. Time for fetish reveals. I do wonder what you guys' fetishes are, but maybe we keep that as a anonymous answering question thing. You know what I mean? Like where I can put up anonymous answering, so that way people don't feel weirded out behind it. I think things like that are very interesting too, you know what I mean? Because it just explains the human and what the circumstances they've gone through more when you learn these things. My fetish is you. Oh, brother. Drama. That's why I will say, like, any man that has any sort of, like, affliction towards me, affection, is a little broken in the head. Here at KOs.corp, we keep our perks anonymous, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Saw that coming, you know what I mean? He's so predictable nowadays. Can people understand rage bait is just content that means to make you interact? Like, the more vile and disgusting it, the better rage bait it is. Yeah, but to me, I think there's, like, a downside to rage bait. I know it is just for engagement, and they literally make money off the post. It just, like, perpetuates more distance between us as humans and the world. So it's, like, a net negative. You know what I mean? In the same way that we all understand that, like, money corrupts people. Let me do... chain one. And that's why we don't like it, is because it corrupts so much people. Like, the same thing for, like, rage baiting. Like, people are being corrupted. Fuck, I said one, not exclamation. People are being, they're rage baiting others for, money. You know what I mean? And so it's like, that's, like, cruel, I think. Gales is the queen of rage bait. Me? What the? What the hell does that even mean? Uh-oh. Where's... okay, there we go. Chain to LA. It's horrible, and I think all rage bait should never be excused, but that is the term. Yeah. I do wonder why you randomly brought up rage baiting, though. Was there a reason for it, or you just wanted to talk about it? I don't mind either way. I'm just looking for clarification. Chain to... yeah, change him. Yeah, I think it's... it just sucks because, like, especially you, I think you're kind of new to the internet and stuff like that, but the internet didn't used to be so angry, and it actually was just, like, because there was a skill barrier to access the internet back in the day, people didn't, they weren't so quick to just try and make you angry, try and piss you off. It's only when, like, the internet became more accessible to the average person did people, like, intentionally want to troll other people. Like, I remember when literally the word troll was coming into conception. I remember when trolling people and the word of a troll was a new concept for the internet, because it just started becoming slowly more frequently over time. You know what I mean? Now, like, trolling is just like everyone knows what that means. But there was a point where it was a lot more kind, because, like, people who could access the internet usually had very, like, distinct interests that they wanted to, like, connect with other people who had those interests. So they had, like, a more positive headspace for how the internet is approached. I remember that too, and it used to be in art too. Yeah, I know. You know? It's about the VR chat thing that made me think about pro shipping rage bait. Oh, okay, so I do wonder where does pro shipping come into this? Is there a pro shipping issue in VR chat? I thought that was like a Twitter issue. I didn't know they overlap. I remember when there was no internet, exactly. You know what I mean? Now people are mixing up in LARPing and poser. We should have gatekept the internet more. It was inevitable, because it was such a great place that other people were gonna come, but, like, I think the internet is just, honestly, a very distinctly painted picture of humanity in a nutshell. Line art color. C? What did it do? C2 color. It just paints the picture of humanity in general, I'm not gonna lie. Because people, the majority of people are very, very cruel, and especially when they're not faced with consequences, which a majority of the time that's the internet. You're not really faced with much consequences because it's not anonymous, but it kind of is in a way. And this is just simply humans at their purest form. You know, I think I heard a nice quote from Dovetsky. I know it's pronounced a different way. I don't know how to say his name. Dosovavatsky. But he was basically saying that humans, like when they have it all and they're bored, they'll eventually start to destroy things and break things out of boredom. And I think that's a very true statement. Like, people have become so... I don't want to say privileged in their life, because that's a hard way to put it. So privileged in their life that they just create problems nowadays. Because it gives them something to do. Because I think inherently people are problem solvers. So if there's no problems to solve and all their needs are met, they turn to creating problems so they can quote-unquote solve them. Dostoevsky is going with Dovetsky. I tried. That's completely valid. That's what I feel. Humans be doing too much. Yeah, and it's just really upsetting. It's really upsetting. So it's like it's a hard watch. So I guess again, like, I don't think people are getting worse. I think we're just seeing more of humanity, you know? But I do say, even in my own circumstances, I do get angrier the more I'm exposed to the internet, so maybe people are getting worse because they're getting angry. I could see that as a valid claim. Colloquially! I think I got better at it. Gluten, I don't think humans are doing enough. Especially these darn kids. Yeah. That is true. Like, again, like, there's just... Life is becoming so easy. So they're literally, like, creating problems. I don't like the way that looks. They're creating problems. Alright, paint dipper. Yeah. Erase. Alright, that looks better. You did good, thank you! There's a flashing star outside in the sky. I think it's a helicopter, it's not moving. Probably. It probably is a helicopter then. Are you unfamiliar with helicopters? We have them all the time here. Most recently, the most obnoxious thing that's been interfering with my sleep is fucking coyotes. There are so many fucking coyotes where I live. And they, like, howl and they bark, and it is so annoying. It is so annoying. Uh-oh. I don't think I like how that looks. That chain goes way too much high. Ah, damn. What is the solution here? Give me a second. Technically, if you don't know what it is, it's legally a UFO. I say by definition. Let me get rid of this. I think that goes a little too high. Coyotes, better stop messing with my wife's sleep. It is obnoxious. Okay, so I think if I make that chain a little higher, I fix that issue. Yeah. Let me see. I need to open up a new canvas. Give me a second. Filter. Where is it? Edit animation. Window. New window. Alright, ignore that. There we go. Oh. Remember when Australia went with war with emus and lost? I've heard about that. How does that even work, I wonder? They killed all the wolves ages ago in Ireland. Huh, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, we have a bunch of coyotes over here, and they are so fucking loud. Like, they, like, scream. And unfortunately, I don't know why, like, even when I moved to Vegas, I kind of acknowledged that we have, like, a lot of wildlife here. It's kind of morbid, but you can hear when they're attacking, like, people's pets. Because people will leave their pets outside at night, and, like, coyotes can, like, absolutely fucking grapple a wall. And people still choose to leave their animals outside at night. Only, to be, donated to the local coyote population, to say the least. Hi, everyone! Hello, Pip! Forever, long time no see! How are you doing? Okay, I need to just add... Okay. Yeah, I'll add more chink. Chink. To the, chain. Alright, this one. Alright, put you right here. My favorite war. Where I live, aka Egypt, there's so many stray cats and dogs. At this point, there's something they're just something you expect in the day. Oh, I see, I see. I see. Alright, put that over here. Me and my dad were ecstatic when we had a rat in our garden. Rats are cute. I saw this really cute mouse out on the walk one time. Right, that looks terrible. Let's try this one. How does that look? Oh, I forgot I can be looking up over here. Now that I have my canvas far away. Erase. It's a pity you can't also hear comical meep meep after a coyote howls to make it somewhere satisfying. You're funny. These kids nowadays, I don't think they know about that reference. Maybe they do. It was huge VRO like bugger. What is VRO? What is VRO? I do kind of hear that frequently. Does that mean anything? Explain to me, child. Alright, let me see how that looks. This one's still a little too thick, but maybe it's a little wild. Or wider, I mean. Row with a V. Row? That's it? Bro, oh, these fucking kids. Bro, that's so... These kids. They'll do anything to, I guess change up the narrative, to say the least. Wait, edit. Redo. Yeah. Wait, erase those? I think that looks a little better. Yeah, I think that definitely looks a lot better. Take this, put this here. Oh no, I think I have to pee again. It starts. What time is it? Man, it's 2. I feel like that's way later than I expected. Bro, son, twin, mate, bro, tato chip, because the list goes on. I think I just gotta shape the feet a little different. I don't like how wide. How would I do that though? Unless I... give me a second, you guys, I'm thinking. I'm thinkering. Doesn't look too bad. It's like not perfectly symmetrical, but it's like I kind of like it because it's like that's kind of realistic. But I don't like how big this area looks. So how would I... Let me see what it looks like if I just scribble all over it. Like this. Color. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit more ideal. I'll have to just shape it down. Someone bully me into making my bed. Are you a loser who's incapable of doing absolutely nothing gluten-free acrylic? Are you one of those people who can't do anything at all? Are you one of those people? I mean, if you want to be like, I mean, like, listen here, a lot of people like being like them. The people who can't do anything at all. If you want to be that person, then, you know, so be it, but, you know. If not, make your damn bed. No, actually, someone softly coaxed me. You're so funny. You need the real truth. The real truth. It'll build grit, and grit builds character. You know, don't you want to be strong gluten-free? Don't you want to be strong? Alright, we're just gonna have to do that. It doesn't look like what the rest I was drawing, but whatever. I do think it looks better. I haven't made my bed once in about 10 years now. Oh my lord. I make mine multiple times a week. But it's not like a super frequently thing. My bed looks nice when it's made, that's why I do it. Alright, where's the erase button? Right here. Alright, let's try that. It just looks... let's see. Let me try to straighten this up a little bit. Oop, wrong layer. We'll take that, I guess. I sleep like a savage, toss and turn, so I gotta make it every day. I do too, but I just like, I leave it. You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna A, see it, and B, like, you know? My mindset used to be, if I can pull my covers up to me when I sleep, it's fine. Hell yeah. But think about how refreshing it'll be when you make your first, bed. And who knows how long. I clean my room when I feel bad mentally. It helps me a lot when I will say it's like, I think there's like proven studies that it does help to have a clean space whenever you're going through like mental anguish. Because think of it, like every time you look at something, it's gonna say in the back of your head that like, hey, this is a mess, this is a mess, this isn't good. You know, and it's that kind of I think this looks okay. It doesn't look the greatest. Okay, hold on, let me just shape this more. It will help you. And because you've stuck around this long, I'm assuming you're someone who wants to self-improve. You know what I mean? I assume anybody who sticks around long enough, that's what they're here for. 'Cause certainly I'm not, I think that's my best strength, maybe. Alright, let's put that there. Alright, BRB, I gotta pee again! I've returned. I'm getting tired. I'll be like, what is the point of this? Life's not worth it. I'll make my bed and be like, I'm good now. Exactly. Exactly. I think once people come to the conclusion that life, there is no specific message for it, it's like what you make out of it, they'll live happier lives, to say the least. Alright, so I think, let me see it one more time. That's not too bad. Alright. Let's start with this chain, or maybe I should put them in different order. No. Let me see. That doesn't really make a huge difference. What should I like better? I think that one's fine. New clipping mask. Great. Man, I can't believe I've already been streaming for almost 2 hours. I literally feel like I've been streaming for like 15 minutes. The darker shades. Where's my water? This is good fun. I love talking to people, but none of my friends message me, so I gotta talk to you guys. Hell yeah. Why is that none of your friends talk to you? Whoa. What the? Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong layer. If you're going on the bathroom breaks, you're gonna start calling me the pisser kisser. I'm sure that's definitely something that's going to happen to Zato. The pisser kisser. Oh, brother. Tasato, you really do like, thinking about the fact that I go pee. I will say I was thinking about it. I think it'd be kind of funny. Because if I get a dehumidifier that I use when I'm exercising on my Zwift machine, because we have such a low level of humidity here in Vegas, like naturally, everything that my dehumidifier pulls out of the air is going to be literally my sweat. And then if you guys know how a dehumidifier works, it all pools into like a liquid container or reservoir. And then you pour it out. And I was like, you know, this is a great time to bottle up my sweat. You know, make a few extra dollars. I'm too needy, I think. It's more of a me problem. Why are you so needy? Did your parents not give you a lot of attention as a kid? You know, which is totally fine. You know, it happens to a lot of people. That's usually the main suspect. I called that either way hydrated or potentially dehydrated. Kidding, lol. I'll take 10. You're so funny. I just read that. I took 10 screenshots, by the way, to Zato. Bottle me for personal use. Not the biker girl sweat. I mean, that'd be really fucking funny. Like, honestly... I mean, honestly, it's like literally there's not a better time to fucking... Like, it'll be like literally like reservoir liquid taken from the air. Like, you guys are just upset because it's literal genius speaking. Dark it's 0. Whoever purchases the listing has nothing to do with me, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to make $1. It's tough out here. I mean, no, I just like talking to people. I see. So you just like attention. But why do you like attention so much? Are you the kind of person? I just do wonder. Who, you need attention to be validated? I don't think I like that, but whatever. I gotta make all these change to lighter. I don't like this color. Liquid Cabrosia 0 says Tasato. I'll take 20. You guys are funny. Alright, let me go over here. Yeah, I definitely need to make this way brighter. Let me do this now, actually. So I don't like how this gray is like the similar gray as the boot. It needs to be lighter overall. So take you. The Ambrosia wordplay was great there, debunked. I don't get it. Can you explain to me? It is funny when people have like a great joke and I can't get it because I'm too slow. Brightness. Ambrosia. Maybe even lighter. It's supposed to be like a silver, not a metal, really. All you toast. You guys are silly. Yeah, I think I like that better. Maybe a 7. Yeah, 7's good. Alright, put this back on. Let's alpha lock. Let's turn you, because now that this is a new base color, let's turn you into this color. Alpha lock, and then fill. Okay, that's not... I tried. I mean, kinda. See them responding to me kinda as I'm caring about what I have to say, but also through that my friends are just funny. I'm always bored. Art looks great so far, Roy. Thank you. I see. So I will say, like, that technically does get unhealthy the longer you kind of maintain that. Because people can, like, pick up on the fact that you're very needy and, like, attention-seeky. And it can be fatiguing. So do just have your best interest in mind. Over the brightness. I don't want it too contrasted, so I'll probably put it right here. That's why you guys can't see. I'm moving the scale thing real quick. Ambrosia was the food of the gods in Greek mythology. Ah, ambrosia. I never knew that. It's interesting. Needy people will be exhausting. I'd have to agree, you know, so it's good to acknowledge it, but it's okay. I talk to myself. If I get lonely, I try not to be annoying. I don't know if that's okay. So do you actually speak verbally to yourself? Because I've always wondered about people who did that. Nectar was a drink, but it's often conflated together. I see, I see. Good to know. I think... Is this the right... Not verbally, I have thin walls. So you just have an inner monologue. I don't think that's talking to yourself. I think it's just having an inner monologue. It's alright, I guess. Have you ever heard or played the game Hades? I've heard of the game. I think Stella likes to play that game, right? Am I not mistaken? Maybe. What is it about? It's probably, it's like, if it's not Tetris, I'm not interested. No, there's more, but I don't really want to admit it online. I see. I am curious, though. I will say, but if you don't want to admit it online, you don't want to admit it online. But I am curious. I definitely do talk out loud to myself because sometimes I need to sort out what's in my head. That's very interesting. I always found it fascinating. Greek mythology. I think you might like the art. I see, I see. Alright. Not bad. I could do better, but I'm not an artist. It looks okay. Especially if it's one task with many parts, one too many priorities, or things that need to be accomplished. I see, I see, I see. I see. I would, but I used to overshare a lot. I'm trying not to do this much. Oh, well, I'm technically encouraging it, so it's a little different circumstances here. Because I will say, the only time oversharing is bad is when it's unprompted. It's like unsolicited, but if someone's asking specifically, it's not oversharing. You're just answering a question. You know what I mean? It's the oversharing again, it's just like literally like when literally nobody asked. Okay, whatever. I'll draw these lines there. I don't even know what I'm doing. Hades is based on Greek mythology, but it's a good game and the art style is cool, unique. It gets really repetitive after a while, though, is my only gripe. Of course, the freak Tasato, who's played 6 billion video games, knows what game that is. Shout out to you, Tasato. You know, when's the last time, I'm really proud of you. You've really beaten a lot of your addictions for, video games. I'm very proud of you. Now you play a smart game called Mahjong. Actually, Greek mythology. You see what I'm saying? He's so funny. Actually, it's based, but it's not. It actually isn't. He's so funny. But thank you, my dear Dark Virus. I used to overshare when conversations were dry, so people would talk to me. See, I know what you're. I know what you're talking about. I think that the issue with that is the reason the conversation is dry is because the person doesn't want to talk to you. So you're not quote unquote picking up on the social cue that they're giving that they don't want to talk to you. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why you feel the need to overshare. Because your audience is not the right audience. But if you had the proper audience who will actually want to hear what you want to say, it's not oversharing. You see what I mean? Like, for example, because like obviously it's very easy to conceptualize here as me being a VTuber. But I'm never seen as oversharing because people want to hear what I have to say, because that's why they're here in the first place. You know what I mean? I bet that's it. If I were to guess, rolling eye emoji. I know, Tasato's so fucking funny. Like, Tasato, like, I don't have the time or energy to work on it. But you at some point are going to have to, you're gonna have to be addressed. I don't have the time right now to deal with it. Also, there's just things about myself I like to keep to myself, and that's fair, that's fair. Again, like, obviously, you're the one in control here, so you don't have to answer any of my questions, you know what I mean? But I am very curious. I love hearing, deeper things about people and their behavior and why they do things. Living mask. I also only said it because I've seen a lot of people talk about the game as if they're actual stories in Greek mythology. Well, I'll let it slide from now on. Well, it's just like, it's not... It's like, you have good intentions. It's just how you execute them is the problem. And so, in this circumstance, it's like, you weren't talking to Dark Virus, but you were because you were correcting him, and the only thing you said was like, actually, it's this. So it just comes across as just like, you know for a fact it's not gonna be well received. You know what I mean? I love answering questions. Okay, hell yeah. I love asking questions. I see what you mean. Yeah. And it's something we've got to work on for you. Because again, a lot of times, like, you jump to conclusions way more often than you probably think. And on top of that, like, I will say, circumstantially, when he says it's based off of Greek mythology or whatever the hell he said, I, like, inferred it to be the case. Because, like, I know, like, first of all, Greek mythology is only so true as, like, the translation as you read. You know what I mean? So, like, there's gonna be translation errors everywhere. So it's like, I already know for a fact it's not gonna be a one-for-one copy of Greek mythology. Because I don't even think anything could be a one-for-one copy of Greek mythology. And since it's a creative, like, medium, such as a video game, to make it novel and exciting, they are gonna hype parts up. So I already know it's gonna be based on it. So it's like, I will say, technically, your correction, I don't want to say it's unnecessary, but it's like, I don't know if you're listening to your audience. Does that make sense? These are my favorite conversations as well. There's something satisfying folks and share the things that matter for League. Yeah. I was correcting it for your sake. Still, I know for a fact that, like, anything fictional is not going to be 100% accurate. So, you see what I'm saying? Is there an upper tail wag so I can stare at it for an hour? Let me see. Heal up. There we go. There we go. Have you ever heard of the God of War franchise? I have heard of it. I have heard of it. I'm assuming. I like the guy who's always like, my boy. Whatever his name is. I like ancient Egypt stuff. I feel like it's really underrated. I think it's, at a certain time, it was like really popular in media, to talk about it. So I think it's fairly rated. But it is very fascinating. Tee. Kratos. I like that guy. I like that guy. He seems cool. Not too bad, not too bad. I think you'd really like him. I think so too. I've seen like little clips of him and he looks really funny. It was funny. I don't remember. Okay, listen here. I will say, Lamictal's giving me like a fucking fried brain. I don't remember if I spoke this out loud. My biggest problem in my life is I will think thoughts really intensely to like kind of like get them like and see like, okay, how am I gonna phrase this? And I don't ever remember if I say it out loud. So I may be repeating myself when I say this, because I don't remember if I said this out loud or not. But I thought it was so funny the other day where I was like, oh, my behavior, if it was a man's behavior, it'd be well tolerated and well accepted, because like everyone expects like a man to be like aggressive, like and like kind of like in the fatherly way I am. And I was like, and they're only upset of it because I'm a woman. But then I realized, like, someone made a good point, unrelated to my circumstances, that society relatively rejects and does not like when, like, genders show, like, opposite traits of each other. So, like, when men are more feminine, a lot of society doesn't accept that. And then a lot of, society doesn't accept women when they're more masculine. And I was like, that's fair, actually. It goes for both sides. That's perfectly fair. Hey, Kaleser, who are you doodling now? I'm working on my new model. I really need to get it done so I can get the progress working on it. So I'm working on the chains on my shoes. I don't see it getting brought up unless it's something like hip-hop shaking. Hip-hop shaking. I saw that. To me, I personally, I don't give a shit about, like, whatever fictional things. I think the word hip-hop shaking is just kind of corny, but, like, I think that the hatred of that song was incredibly overblown. I don't get me wrong, like, me personally, I don't like this Teto Miku slop. But it's someone else's creation, and who am I to, complain about it? You know what I mean? But I'm, like, I will say I'm exhausted of just, it's always Teto and Miku, Teto and Miku, Teto and Miku. I get it. You gotta work on the KO's obviously KO tagline. Exactly. Which, that was so funny. If I'm being honest, you give off mother more than father. I don't see you as very masculine. That's interesting. I think I am a bit more motherly nowadays. It really depends, though. Hashtag not bipolar. But I think it depends. Oops, I was calling something that didn't exist. Because I know a lot of people see me as masculine, too. Your new blue archive-based VTuber design is tough. Okay, it wasn't it wasn't blue archive-based, but it does look very blue archive-y, so real and true, Reina. On your soul. Thank you, Reina, though. Thank you. I don't really understand what tough on your soul means, but, like, thank you. I appreciate it. Did you see, Reina, that I think they're new black NPCs in, Uma Musume? And they look super cute. Did you see them? I do wonder. I thought it was fake, and honestly, I'm still not even sure if it's real or not. LMKOs, and I'm your personal hip-hop dance instructor. Exactly. The Vocaloid fandoms love stomping on Miku tattoo songs whenever they can, which I think is pretty deserved. I don't think it's deserved because, like, at the end of the day, this is a person who went out of their way to try and create artwork. I'm sick of it, though. But I'm not a Vocaloid producer, so it's like, I would never outwardly, other than here, it's like, I would never comment on somebody's, like, post, go to their video, and comment saying, like, this is bad. You know what I mean? I never retweet them and say, this is bad artwork. You know what I mean? So it's like, the song itself, it's just not my cup of tea. I am sick of the trend of like Teto Miku, Teto Miku, Teto Miku. But it's like, I would never go out of my way to express my dislike for it. You know what I mean? And I think people, especially in the Vocaloid community, have gotten too comfortable with just like saying like, this is trash, this is terrible. You know what I mean? I feel like your new model tastes like blueberry Skittles, but less sour. I didn't even know they made blueberry Skittles. I did, and the internet went backlashing at it. Reina, you know how they are. You know how they are, Reina. I think they turned out pretty cute. I just wish they made the playable characters with that skin color. I think that's cool. I will say my only critique of that though, is just like all of them, unless they're all sisters. If they're all sisters, then sure. It's totally fine for them to have like similar skin tones. But if you're gonna do like multiple black people, I think different shades of the skin tone may have worked a little bit better. And be a little bit more accurate to real life. But if they're all sisters, that makes sense then. I don't mean deserve as like the producers of Battery Miku Tetsu stuff is overdone. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see, that makes sense. I've been hearing about Vocaloid since 2010, but I'm still confused at the hype and lore about it like Toho. There's no hype and lore behind it. It's just a vocal software called Vocaloid. That's the engine. So that's like the mechanics of the software, and then you can download voice banks, and like Hatsune Miku is a voice bank, so they gave a little character picture with it, and the voice bank obviously is like supplied by the voice of a vocal provider, and that's all there is to it. And so Vocaloid is very pro artistic creativity, so they allow you to do whatever and to monetize off of these characters. So it's like, if I made a Miku, I could make her a grandpa, you know what I mean, an old grandpa. And that's my Miku, and they're fine with that because they're pro like artistic creativity, and I can make money off of that. So there's a lot of iterations of people how people make their Mikus and stuff like that. And the reason why it's kind of an issue is like nowadays, like a lot of these kids are very, very prudent. They want by the book, like Miku has to be this way, when in reality Miku was always an image of like artistic creativity. That's why she's so popular in the first place. But because this new series called Project Sakai, it's a mobile game, like a gacha mobile game, kind of gives the Mikus a more, it's not canon, but more quote-unquote a canon personality. When people see Miku outside of Project Sakai, they're like, what? Miku would never do that. Because Miku in this game, which is an iteration of Miku, just like all the other iterations of Miku, has a certain personality. So it creates a lot of like discourse that's really unnecessary. And during Black History Month, you love to see it, Reina. You love to see that we got black NPCs, Uma Musume, and Black History Month. Hatsune Miku is older than me, by the way. Yeah, Miku's really, really old. You didn't ban that one, Leaf, did you? Of course not. Of course not. JCH, when I threatened him, it was completely, I just was saying I'm threatening you to make him scared. I had no thoughts of what the threat was even gonna be, lol. My stream keeps stopping. I don't know if it's just my internet. It shouldn't be me. Let me just check what I'm connected to, what, internet, whatever. Kids, you know what I mean? So it's just like, that's why I personally am moving away from the community. Because it's just so much discourse. And they are like, my head canon, like my interpretation of this character is right and yours is wrong. And that's not how fictional content should be interpreted. You know, it should be interpreted like on a personal level, and that's about it. If someone else has an interpretation for you, look at her. I think she turned out really good. Then that's it. That's their interpretation. The Miku-verse. It literally is. It's not you. Okay, that's good to know. I forgot to check. I love how I said I'm gonna check and I didn't check. Yeah, I'm gonna attach my Wi-Fi. Wouldn't it be that counterintuitive? No, it was just a threat tactic, JCAs. It was a threat tactic, and I think that one Leaf understood because, like, I was, like, playing around with him. Like, I don't have any, you know, ire towards him or whatever. And just, like, even his message had no ire. It was just playful banter. So we were just bantering back and forth. He bantered with me and I bantered back. I joined the Vocaloid fandom just as it started to turn to slop. That sucks. That sucks. And it really sucks. The worst part about it is a lot of these really older creators, like technically, like I was a big creator for like creating Vocaloid merch and stuff like that for the longest time. They're being pushed out of the community because like we just don't want to deal with children. You know what I mean? And Project Sakai, you deal with children. You know what I mean? Literally, I think I joined a month or two before Mesmerizer. Wow, you're brand new. You're brand new then. And I will say, Mesmerizer was a good song. It was a good song. Everyone's like, it's overrated. I was surprised it got so popular, but it was a good song. You know what I mean? It's nice of you to have been worried about him, though, Jace. Exactly. Jace is such a good kid nowadays. I'm excited for your future, Jace the Ace. Project Sakai is boring, though. It really is. Like, it really fucking is. And it's always filled with drama. Like, the community is so drama-filled. It's like, why would anybody want to, like, engage with this? It just sucks. And it really sucks because, like, the story and the art of the cards is absolutely stunning and beautiful. Like, some of my favorite art comes from the cards in Project Sakai. But, like, I don't even want to get involved in the community because it's just going to attract children. You know what I mean? Kyoza with the eccentric music taste and takes, lol. I have the funniest and best, objectively, the best music taste in the world. Overrated does not equal bad. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. It just eats up my phone storage. Yeah, it's probably for the better. And on top of that, it's just like, you know. And like for me, again, like as a Miku fan, like I started playing Project Sakai because like I like the Vocaloids. And now I'm being introduced to all these children without my consent. And I'm like, I'm out of here. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this. Alright, let's see. I do need to rework the jacket a little bit. But we got the spats. Oh, I need to redraw the wings. That's what I'll probably do next. I'll add a little bit more to the chains later. Collectively, because that's kind of a pain. Hot take, 99% of gacha games are boring. I'd have to agree. Like, I like the characters in Uma Musume. But that's about it. The game itself is kind of insane. I'm a little too slow for this. I'm trying to remember the first true exposure to Vocaloid I had, which means excluding Nyancat. Ah, I see. My first exposure was when Triple Baka came out, which I think it was in 2009? You know? My kids think you're cool, lol. That's cute. I wonder why. Sometimes I feel like the things I say and talk about kind of go over kids' heads, so I do wonder what's their perception of me. Uma Musume was so boring. It just... You know, it's... Shout out to anime, I guess. That's understandable. It's essentially a roguelike disguised as training simulator. A roguelike? What the hell is a roguelike? I'm not familiar with video games. Disguised as a training simulator. It's just hard, and it's like numbers, calculation, percentages. Why is my bitch always crying? Rice Shower is my #1. Why is her mood always down? Why is she always crying? I don't know. I don't know. Alright, let's get to these wings. Alright, let's get... Hold on, let's put this in a new folder called... Shoe Chains. There we go. Patan Boogie. Probably because puppets. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They only see when I watch you, and they don't know what you actually talk about. Ah, I see. So they probably see like that you like me, and they're like, oh, then it must be good. Because Dad really likes this character. That's kind of cute, actually. Alright, uniform. Take you in here. And put you onto the boots. The boots. Shoe chain. Right here. There we go. I like Uma because of the gacha. First of all, I've like never had luck at that gacha, so I don't even like it because of that. Patan Boogie is so overdone by the cosplay community. What is that? Huh. So you know those games that keep looping over and over again and you lose a bunch of stuff and build yourself back up? Oh, that's a horrible game, like, mechanic. That's a thing? Like, that's an actual style of gaming? You keep looping over and over again, you lose a bunch of stuff and then build yourself back up. I was like, I thought that was a flaw. Like, I don't even understand. So every time I played the fucking little horse running game, like, the race, am I getting stronger? I don't even know. Or am I failing? Like, is my character getting any stronger? Wait, can't lie, your model kind of looks like Miku. I will say the hair specifically, this teal color, was chosen because it was Miku. But I have to say technically that's it, since I'm a fox with short hair. What is that? Conton Boogie. Not the Conton Boogie. What is this? I have never heard this or seen this thing before. You'd be surprised how addicted people are to those games. Really? That's I thought that was a fucking flaw. I was like, that's the worst part about this game. I'm listening to Conton Boogie. No, I'm not listening to that. That sounds like the kid slop nowadays. It's a little too much for me. It's the outfit too, though. Funny enough. Absolutely, I see what you're saying. It's like this area. This looks just like Miku's. What was the outfit called in Project Diva? Her school uniform. It looks just like that. And this vest actually used to be. Let me see. Actually, do I have the file still open? Let me see. Older. I kept fucking making new files. Let me. I think I'm safe opening this up. Let's see. We'll find out. Hold on. It's going slow. Uma's not a roguelike. Really? I don't even know. Alright, why is it taking forever to open? Give me a second. But yeah, I do kind of see the outfit. The tie and the vest. So this was the original colorway. This was the original colorway of the outfit. And then I was like, I don't really like these colors. Which I still kind of do. This is not a bad colorway, but I wanted it more monochromatic. But specifically this style was based off of her summer outfit from Project Diva. And that's why the tie is that blue tie color. But interestingly enough, I changed it, and it still looks like Miku. You know, that's funny, actually. I think I've joined too many fandoms, but I was hunting for more. You seem very addicted to dopamine and stimulus, you know? I don't think that's a good thing. You gotta calm down, breathe, and pick one fandom, and stick with it until it dies. You know, stick with it until it becomes something, a shell of its former self. I definitely like new colors. Thank you! Yeah, it's like, I think they just look better, and it's like I can go with more backgrounds that are more sky themed, which I do like the sky and all the pretty colors. It's just way more, you know, hey, I have blue. I'm the blue purple color scheme. It's way better for branding. Hello, Astro Lav Star, how are you doing? Already have. Gameplays wise, it's Dark Virus, a combination of roguelike elements. You go through a run in this case, training a specific horse score, and once you finish, either through succeeding or failing, you restart. So you do make progress each time. How many fucking times are you supposed to cycle through the same stuff over and over until you, like, win? This is stressful. Okay. And I did kind of like this brown holster. No, I don't like it when I look far away, funny enough. For a while I was thinking whether or not to include it. I don't think I like it anymore. Actually, get out of here. Whoa. Rip. Alright, wings. Bow sketch. Oh, I do need to work on the bow still. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me do the wings real quick. Turn this down. New layer. I just have to line art these wings because, like, I drew them as a sketch, so they're not as, like, high quality as they could be. And they need to make them, I need to make them more high quality. Alright. I hate long straight lines like this. Ooh, got it. I got it. that. I'm actually doing great. I'll put this one down a tiny bit. Oh, don't like that. Guys, what are your thoughts on jelly cats? I'm trying not to get pulled into an addiction, because like I had some feel in my mind that I wanted to get and I got them. And now I'm like, I'm kind of doing the whole, well, this one would look cute, you know? But I can't get addicted to shopping again. Wait, my brother introduced me to Undertale when I was very little, so he low-key prepared me for all this culture. Undertale, huh? Never watched it. I'm getting my first one today. It's a cute little guy. You're so funny with the eye roll. Jelly what? It's a little, it's a brand of plushies called Jelly Cats. Think of it as expensive Beanie Babies. In that regard. You're so funny, Dark Mars. He's a cute little guy. I think you like it. I think you like it. They're way too expensive. They really fucking are, I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind the price, but they cost too much for the absolute hell it takes to fucking manage them, because again, they're always sold out. And it's like, we were paying too much money for waiting to like this. Never watched it, brother. You know what I mean? I meant to say play it if I said that for Undertale. I guess we're collecting it together again. Thanks, universe. They're cute. They're cute. I think you might like them. They're just the little guys. I guess, what's his name in the Discord? Wild Pop. I think he has, some jelly cats. There's the cute little guys. Expensive for sure, yeah, because, like, then you have, like, the exclusives and stuff like that. But I did notice that, like, for the longest time, the pancakes were not coming back into stock. And then they came back into stock, and they're still in stock. So I wonder if they're finally supplying enough demand. Because it used to be, like, you had, like, maybe 10 minutes to get this thing once it's in stock. And then it was sold out again for, like, a couple more months. So I wonder if they're finally kicking up the demand. My cousin got me a jelly cat pig purse. I use it all the time. It's definitely high quality. That sounds really cute. That sounds really cute, actually. I guess if there winds up being a market for, like, there was Beanie Babies, and say maybe the few that you like can be used as resource down the line if needed. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I will say I am not above it, and people who know me know this to be a fact. I'm not above when you have a collectible item, and then it goes up in value. I am not above selling it at market price. You know what I mean? It's just like buying lottery tickets. You know? God forbid. Or are they shadow dropping to avoid that? What is shadow dropping? Shadow dropping. Absolutely, definitely not above the market demand. You know what I mean? Nothing personal, kid. The Squishmallow craze, that was, I think, unfounded. That, to me... Okay, I don't like to say this frequently, but I do kind of mean it. I think that was, like, peak consumerism, because the Squishmallows were not even high quality. At least with Jellycats, like, they're high quality, and they, like, mix and match fabrics, and they usually put, like, beans in the butts and stuff like that, which cost more. But Squishmallows were literally, like, Dollar Tree core quality. I use it as an eat-a bag. Honestly, I have pins and keychains all over it. That sounds really cute, actually. I'd love to see that. Not announcing it anywhere, just adding it to stock in the store. But what does that do? What does that do? Does that do anything? You know what I mean? Does that do something positive? Like, is that, like... I've never heard of shadow dropping. A little bit more. I don't have that many Squishmallows, TBH, they're never that expensive. Yeah, that's true. And it's like, to me, it's like they were just cheap material. I did have one I just purchased because I was curious. And it was like a dragon, so I liked the way its like skin felt. But I was like, why, like, why? Maybe I donated it to Goodwill. I don't even remember, I'm not gonna lie. I do not remember. But I will say the thing about trends and why they're so, like, fun is because it builds a sudden community And I think nowadays, more than ever, we are so devoid of community as a general species that people do crave, like, these communities very quickly. You know what I mean? Because, like, the Labubu thing, it was, like, a community built from that. The Squishmallows, it was a community. Like, you could engage in community content, which is, like, going to look for these Squishmallows, your Squishmallow haul, finding rare ones. So it created a community where people could engage and interact with other humans. So I think inherently, there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, like, people do get too caught up in the consuming part of it. Someone a preventative measure against bots and huge hype just buying it out instantly. I have an otter one and a pink and gray white cat one in my bed. Hell yeah. I have a Labubu I found on the ground. I found a Labubu on the ground too, actually, funny enough. I was walking the Las Vegas Strip, and I found a little guy. And I gave him a shower because his face was scraped up. And I, like, washed him. And I still have him. He's so cute. I felt bad because the owner, like, dressed him up in a full, like, outfit. So obviously they cared about him, but... You know, he's just a little guy. It's so funny, though. I found it, like, walking, too. Put you like this. Alright, not bad. I don't know if I really like that clip so much. I think the desire for community is something, though, that, how do you, like, really fill that need? I guess, like, getting invested truly in hobbies. And I think that's what's the difference. I think that's what a big difference is between, like, fandoms and hobby communities. Is just being a fan of something doesn't mean you have to create something. You know what I mean? So therefore, you don't know the importance or how hard it is to create something, so you're more likely to criticize. But when you're in a hobby that you have to create something yourself, you understand how hard the struggle it is to create something, and you understand, like, how hard people put in their effort and work into something that you might not notice if you're just a fan of something. People need more hobbies, not joining fandoms, I'd say. Do you guys have any good hobbies for me to try? Do you have any money? Like, what is your financial status? Because, like, depending, like, as I got older, I got into more expensive hobbies, so it really depends. But I always recommend, like, creative hobbies. There's 10 euros in my bank account. Maybe the papercraft hobby. I don't know, or I don't know if that's, like, still a big community as much as it used to be. But basically, it's where people would print out online, these little foldable anime figures, and you print them out, and then you just fold them and make them. You know? Drawing, painting, KOs, a keychain, photography. Hell yeah. Okay, let's see how that looks. I don't think it looks too bad. I'm gonna shorten these a little bit more. Are you? My hobbies requires no or very low money. Watching trains. That's a good hobby. Watching planes is also probably a good hobby. And then maybe eventually, if you care, you can take pictures of them. I love watching planes. I don't get how people like enjoying photography for fun. It's usually, I will say, in my instance, it's like there's an art to framing a photo really well done. And when you start to have higher quality equipment, your photography can be really nice. It really depends, like, if you enjoy your subject, you'll enjoy photography. But if you don't enjoy your subject, you won't enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of struggled with my business when I was, like, editing my photos and stuff back today. I didn't like the way my products looked, nor the style of photography I was taking, so I didn't enjoy photography. In fact, I fucking hated it. But when I changed up my subject, which now I have a pretty background and a better, higher quality product, I actually enjoy it. Memories capturing beauty, documentation of interesting things. Exactly, there's a whole bunch of them. Alright, speaking of hobbies and money, my dad said I'd probably have to be able to do commissions, but I have to start showing my art. Yeah, is that bad? You know? Oh, edit, redo. I've seen your videos, Conjo. Put that there. We just need to curve it a little bit more. A tiny bit more. Drawing's also a hobby you can get into. Like, more seriously, like learning how to draw anatomically correct. I never really learned how to draw anatomically correct, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, because he'll make fun of me. And so, say, hey, father, are you the one making money off your artwork? Or is it just me? You know? And there you go. We have nothing more to say. That's your gotcha. Your gotcha. Where is eraser? There we go. You know, think about it. A lot of people like base things worth off of how much money it brings in. Alright, we got this. Wing line art. Wing line art. And now wing color. IDK makes me feel icky, but why? You must ask yourself now why. Why does it make you feel icky? Because if you can find out the why, you can find out the solution to make it stop feeling icky. Wings. So you must ask yourself hard and difficult questions. Why? Why does it make you feel icky? You learn more about yourself that way. Alright, good. Color. Okay, what is the best way to color? By selecting. Alright, take this and then fill. Let's try that. Also, since I'm not into drawing like realism, I think he'd be like, no one's gonna want that. But if, who is he to judge? Like, are you smart enough to understand that people want different things? If you are, why do you have to explain it to him? You could either explain it to him or just not care what he says. Are you gonna post reference images of the new model? Yeah, eventually. Eventually, I need to. For sure. And even if he says no one's gonna want that, why does that bother you? You know? Because, like, other people will want your artwork or they won't. You know? It's neither, it's nothing that he can do, like, have a say in, or you either. It's just, it is. People either want it or they don't want it. So deciding if they want it or not is just kind of useless. Alright, hell yeah. I've been doing watercolor with the little sets I got for V-Day. That's awesome. How's that been? I think watercolor would make me seethe. I will say it's like because like I'm like the OCD perfectionist. Things where you don't have a lot of control is like scary for me. I have to be in like the perfect headspace for that kind of stuff. Alright. Let me see. I like it. Alright, shade. Flipping mask. I'm hungry! Oh, what are my options? Rice. I'll have a cashew butter sandwich. That sounds amazing. Wing shade. Also I've kind of gone in a bad phase of art blocks. I don't like my style. I don't feel like it's consistent enough to do commissions right now. Then don't do commissions, you know? Okay, so why? I do wonder. Or rather, I need an answer. Why do you want to do commissions? Is it for the money? Or is it for validation? What is the reason? Excuse me, where the France did my reference go? Oops, wrong one. Okay, down here. Alright, put you there. Hide you, put you back. Turn back on, wind shading. You know? I'll do a little bit like this. For the money, can't lie, but also like when people are happy about getting art. Are you happy? Do you like it that they're praising you for your art, like they think your art is so worthy that they're giving you money for it. Because people can get art from anywhere. Or do you specifically want it to be your art and you feel validated because they're paying for it? If you want, I can give you a true critique about whether or not your art is worth selling, if you want me to. You can handle it. I'll be kind, but I won't hold back. I have no clue what I'm doing with watercolors, but it's been a fun process. That is fun. Because you have to understand, when it comes to commissions, you are asking people to give up their hard-working money, which is time, because it took time for them to build up that money. You're asking them to give that to you for your time. And is it an equivalent exchange? You know, that's the question. So it is something that should be very respected on both ends. I know I'm gonna wait a bit more before I do. If you are like contemplating at all, you definitely should. Should wait. I waited a good amount of time. It's okay. You should more fixate on having a good product worth people's money than anything else. Because yeah, money is great, but it's very, especially in this day and age where the economies are so bad, it is a very precious resource. You know? I know you're not the kind of person, but I know a lot of like people on the internet think just because they can draw, like their artwork deserves money. And that is such a bad way of seeing it. Because anyone can learn to draw, really. So it's not like it's not like you've been touched by God or something. Yeehaw. I think it looks good. A little thick. You know? But I think a good way to... Because again, like, I don't know if you were lying just then, which is fine. But a good way to start out, to get really good skills, is to give out artwork for people. Like, draw people artwork for free, rather than asking for money right away. That's kind of how I started. Just to get a feel of, like, what people want, what they're kind of looking for. Like, kind of like the simulating a progress. Simulating a commission, I meant to say, sorry. Where is my dipper? There we go. Eraser. Not bad, not bad. Because it's white, I can't do too much shading. The wings have grown on me. Thank you. I think they're cute. It's kind of just weird, like to Fox Angel, you know what I mean? It's just weird, I'm not gonna lie. But I think they're cute. Real always makes me sad when my friend looks at my art when I've started drawing digitally like 3 years ago and she starts saying, started last year, gets upset her art doesn't look like mine. It would not make me upset. Because maybe you should just explain to your friend more clearly that, like, hey, anything takes time. You know what I mean? I've done that about 2 or 3 times before. I see. I see. In a good way, like, are you building any sort of social media following? Or are you just trying to, like, market yourself to, like, friends and family for your commissions? Because another good way is drawing fan art for larger creators. So in hopes that they'll like retweet you. And so you can build a like residual following that way. Because it is, if you have a following, it's way easier to get commissions and be acknowledged or taken seriously. I didn't like the wings at first, but since you have the halo, it's cohesive and it cooks. Thank you, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't know if it cooks, but it's something. It certainly is something. Oh, fuck. You know, how can I be evil if I have angel wings? You know what I mean? Like that. I don't know if I like that. I think it's too bold of a color. 62 subscribers and we rich in 2 seconds. Trust. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Not with that attitude. That is true. I will say it is very unfortunate, but it's better to kind of get this understanding now. Do I like this at all? Let me see. Oh, not bad. Edit, redo, 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 redo. But following, you really, I know like a lot of people say this and it's kind of hypocritical, but you really should not focus so much on following, more so higher quality content, because in social media, it's like, again, like I've been doing social media for like as my profession for like almost 8 years now. It entirely depends on the algorithm whether or not your own followers even see your content. So it's actually even better to not even rely on following, because there's a chance when you post something, your social media followers don't even see it, even though if they follow you. So it's better to like fixate now on higher quality stuff than it is to worry about following so much. You're as cute as an angel too. Thank you. I'm drinking my cold tea. I know I'm definitely prepared to wait a good while before anyone commissions me. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Great. I think I'm gonna make the liner a little darker. Maybe. I don't know. Let me try. I'll see what it looks like. I actually don't mind the darker look. I know you guys probably can't even see what I'm doing. I kind of... Or way lighter. Okay, I certainly don't like the extra light, but I do like the darker. How much more darker? I need it to stand out from the tail. I kind of like that one, not gonna lie. It's a bit bold. I'll put it like right here. I'll try that. A little too dark. I'll put it like a. We'll try this for now. This doesn't look too bad, I'd say. Cute. That took forever. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it a day, I'm not gonna lie. I streamed for almost 3 hours. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, well, this was a fun stream. I actually got some work done, I will say. I very rarely actually get work done for my model, so it wasn't that bad. Thanks for the stream. I will say once I'm done with this model, which again, like I have like 2 days left to finish it, for a deadline I gotta hit. I should be able to stream more, and I want to do like more Tetris streams and stuff like that. Good night, Gorf. I appreciate you guys being here. Toodaloo.